Opposites together, still hand in hand. Opposites attract, yeah, it's true. For me to see something new, opposites attract. Ooh, I've fallen hard for you. You chase the moon, I creep the dawn. You mix it up, I play along. We disagree, yet side by side. In our hearts where love resides. Day and night, it feels so right. We found our place in warm embrace. Opposites attract, yeah, it's true. For me to see something new, opposites attract. Ooh, I've fallen hard for you. You chase the moon, I creep the dawn. You mix it up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. And this is our watch party for The Shining 1980. And we have with us the wonderful Douglas A. Burton, actually on this side.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
High five. All right, we'll have to figure that out tomorrow.
well, yeah, we'll have to figure
Have
out
to practice.
But I hope you like my new little intro countdown that I have going on. It's a little awkward, but I hope you guys enjoyed it just a little. And then
I like it. What do you guys think, huh?
yeah, let me know if it's cool.
32 retro counting down.
And you know, before we get started watching this amazing movie that is really it's an arty film and it's really a lot of fun, and also horror movie as well. What we'll look at the chat to see who is here, and let me just do something here. Let's see, we got Kimberly. Hi Kimberly, how are you? Says okay, can't wait. So good to see you. You are ready, up and at 'em. And Sherry Lee is here. Hello, so good to see you. And let's see. I'm telling everybody to hold on for a minute, but Douglas comes in with the tagline of the day. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Wow. And he's, you know, a person who is not dull at all. That is the legendary Jack Nicholson playing Jack Torrance.
Absolutely.
And let's see, who else is here? We got Keith E. in the house. How are you, Keith E? I hope you're doing very well. I think. Let me see.
I'm glad to hear about that hippo, Keith.
Oh, good. My hippo is selling popcorn and a big red drum today. Yes, for red rum. Oh my goodness. And of course, Keith has told us in the chat that he can hear me. This is wonderful, wonderful. Let's see what else. We got Stunt Brat in the house. How are you? Stunt Brat says, pals with China Film Phillips, Mama's and Papa's kid. She said that her mom Michelle and her lived with Jack once he chased her around the yard, mad about something. Yikes! Oh no!
Yeah, something's not right in life when you look over your shoulder and you see Jack Nicholson bearing down on you.
Oh no! Oh man! And it says that's traumatizing. LOL. Wow. Yes. And let's see. So yeah, the who else? Anybody else in the hot chat? No, no one else right now. Okay, so well, maybe some people will come later, or some of the people who are watching will say hello. But for now, yeah, so good to see
Okay.
everybody. This is so
Hi,
great.
Sherry. Kimberly. Hi,
Oh,
Brett.
and Stembrett says that she loves the countdown. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. You guys are great. And let's see. Some Brad says retro sexy anime of you. Love the red glasses. Hugs. Yes, thank you. Oh, I'm not wearing my red glasses, so let's do the honors. And just so that we're in full retro nerd girl regalia.
Oh, it just
Ta-da!
happened.
There she is.
Awesome.
Retro nerd girl was not here until now.
It was just retro
Oh,
girl at that
yeah,
point.
yeah, somebody else, but Jack Lumen is here. Hello, Jack. How are you?
What's up,
And says,
Jack? How are you?
Jen, Douglas Burton just got here, so didn't see it. Oh no, okay.
It's good, guys. It's
And
awesome.
Richard, surprise, yay! Oh, good, good, good. So glad everybody is here. And Sherry Lee says, love the red glasses. Thank you. Thanks so much. Let's see. All right, so the movie of the hour. Any initial words? Because we're really gonna, while this is happening, all happening live, we're gonna talk just a lot about this movie as it's
Oh,
happening.
easily.
Yes, and so what are your just general statements or comments about this movie as it stands?
So it's
Right
probably worth discussing that this is an adaptation of a Stephen King novel.
now?
I
Yes.
think last time when we were talking retro, you mentioned how you read The Neverending Story and you were
Hmm.
telling us the differences. I don't remember all the differences, but I have read the novel a couple of years ago. I read it in
Okay.
October for Halloween, and I'm not a huge Stephen King fan.
Okay.
His books are absolutely compelling for about 50% of the way, like addictively so. Like I cannot stop turning pages. And then the second half of the book always hits, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Um, like I can't stand how the books end. Anyway, The Shining was one of those books that I really enjoyed. I
Oh.
really enjoyed it. It was a beautiful book by Stephen King, but it is a different story in a lot of ways than this movie.
Mm,
So now here's what's unusual,
interesting. Mhm.
right? What's unusual is that I freaking loved the book. Loved it. I was in its grip the whole time I was reading it, and there's one chapter in particular that, and this doesn't always happen. While I was reading, I literally was like, "Oh my god!" Like I was sitting up and I was like, "Man, I am into this so hard." Like this scene, and
Yeah.
it never shows up in the movie. And I kept thinking to myself, I was
Oh,
like, "Man,
no.
how did they cut this chapter from the movie?" And I was like, "You know what? Screw it. It's in the book, and that's part of what makes the book a
Mm,
special flavor, and it's part of what makes the book special, and the movie is its own thing, so you have 2 works of art. I think they're both classics, and
mhm.
it rarely works out that way, right?
Yes, yes. That's
So
awesome. I guess I feel the same way with, like, The Never-Ending Story and a couple other, books that have been adapted.
right.
And, th this is such a strange movie because you would think because of the subject matter, people would be opposed to it or it wouldn't be that exciting, but it is actually really compelling the way the story's told for.
Well, and I even have I've developed a little bit of a theory as of
Ooh.
last night while rewatching this. So,
Mhm.
in the book, it's
Mhm.
much more of a malevolent spirit that exists in Overlook Hotel itself.
I feel that from the movie actually.
Right. So there's some of that in the movie, but in the
Yeah.
book, it's much more you are being seduced by this hotel. Like the
Mhm.
hotel is a character. The hotel is doing this. There's things that are happening in the hallways. There's more visions. There's more of everything. There's more
Oh yeah.
and smells that which you can't really always get across in a film. Uh,
Mhm.
smells the perfume from like flapper girls and things like that. So
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
there's much more of a
Yeah.
seduction. of Jack by the hotel itself as its
mhm,
own thing. And it's a much slower descent into madness. He's much more of a regular 1980 dad who
mhm,
just loses it, and turns on the family. So a little bit more
mhm,
horrifying, I would say, in fact, in the book.
mhm.
Whereas in the movie,
Yeah.
there are aspects that attempt to address things from a more scientific standpoint. Like there's a scene with a therapist who is trying to understand why little Danny is having an imaginary friend. And so there's this
Yes.
scientific aspect, and the alcoholism has a little bit more of a front and center feature here. Like, hey, Jack's struggling with alcoholism. Maybe this is part of, almost as if you took out the malevolent spirits, you might have had the same result because of alcoholism, because of this,
Mhm.
because of that. So there was some grounding efforts in the film
Yeah.
alongside the supernatural. So it
Yeah,
didn't
there's
disrupt it or ruin it.
yeah, there's to when, watching it again, I can definitely see how the actual spirits in the Overlook Hotel, or spirits in the Overlook Hotel, are totally affecting things and affecting people. And I'll point them out when I see them. But there's at some point, I think, and this is my theory about how they were trying to. It was kind of framed in the movie, was that um, the more you lost your grip on reality or your senses, the more you were affected and saw things that the spirit wanted you to see. Because at the
Right.
very end, when um I forgot the girl's name. I can't believe that Shelley's
Wendy
playing.
Torrance? Oh,
Wendy,
Shelley
Wendy,
Duvall?
Yeah. Um, her character, it has been shook by all of the things, realizing that her husband is completely gone. Who is this? But and she's got to, like, fight for her life. Her sanity is is jogged a bit, and then she starts to see the same things he sees, the blood hallways. She starts to see all kinds of the spirits are able to speak to her. So, and I think that's how the movie was trying to frame it, was like, the more you were kind of off your rocker, the more it was able to influence you. And it's really cute. Like, they're like little hints that they were trying to do that in the film. But for him, in particular, for Jack Torrance, he's like, right off the bat, he's
Right.
he's not your average guy right off the bat. And that drive to the Overlook,
Mhm.
he does it with such disdain to even be in the car with his family. Like,
Right.
he's already tainted. He's
Yes.
already like
Yeah, he's totally susceptible to the evil seduction of the Overlook Hotel,
Yes, yes,
and,
yes.
there's much more of a like a predestined, um, scenario in the book. So if you have not read the book, I strongly encourage it. It is
Hmm,
absolutely fantastic, and you will still be able to turn on this movie and love this movie as much as I do, and Retro does, and
awesome.
probably
I
everyone in
can't
the
wait.
chat. What's that?
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna have to do a deep dive into that and, like, read the book,
Yeah,
because it
if you want,
sounds
that would be
interesting.
fantastic.
Ah, sounds so good.
So I was gonna say too that this is one of the stories that helped me understand the heroine's labyrinth. I'll point
Mm,
out some very specific things
okay.
going on
Yes.
because one thing I want to point out, Shelley Duvall plays Wendy Torrance.
Wendy,
Wendy
yes,
Torrance
Wendy.
is the heroine of this story.
Yes, she is.
And the star power of Jack Nicholson kind of clouds that issue because the story centers on him, and we think the
Yes,
movie's about him.
yes,
Um,
yes,
and in some ways it is.
yes.
But Wendy Torrance is the heroine of this story, and she does
Mhm.
so much. And I realized that you'll see a scene when we're watching it in here a little bit. She's being given a tour of the Overlook Hotel early
Mm,
on, and
yes,
there's a
yes,
scene where she says, "Boy, I feel like I'm in a maze. I feel like I need to leave a trail
yes.
of breadcrumbs."
The hotel itself.
the hotel itself. So I was like, a
Yes.
trail of breadcrumbs. I was like, that's Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's Gretel leaving the little breadcrumbs. And then Ripley with the flares as she goes in leaves breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Moana is led into the ocean by little seashells like breadcrumbs. Like, so I realized that there is something there. And of course, if the Overlook Hotel is a maze, allegorically and physically, you have the hedge maze, the infamous hedge maze, right outside the door to drive that point home. So
Yes.
this was one of the movies where I was like, oh my God, she's in a labyrinth. Wendy
Yes.
Torrance is trapped in a labyrinth.
Mhm.
2, this is a hero-centric story, and I never caught that before.
Oh, yes, yes.
So there's some
And
great stuff coming up that we'll get into on that level.
yes, yes. And there are so many little details. We'll point them all out as we're going along. Douglas and I haven't really like collaborated on this beforehand. Like, oh, we haven't planned anything. So it's just really interesting how he's definitely pulling out these incredible things from this movie. And it when I saw this yesterday, just trying to like uh, get ready for today. It was like, oh my God, this is this is so great. Like all the little details, like even up to like the little room that they're supposed to stay in and how claustrophobic it is. Oh,
Yes.
it's so that little narrow little hallway, and then there's stairs to get there. It's so crazy.
You know,
Um,
go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
how that could mess with people's like psychological, ability to feel like they're free. There's no freedom in there.
But see,
So,
the way it is filmed, and this is why I think the labyrinth, understanding it, if you're a storyteller, you want to tell stories,
mm,
director of photography, director of the film itself, a writer. If you understand that you're in a labyrinth, you could see how the power of that archetype translates into the craft itself. So what you're
mhm.
talking about, long, there's some long
Yes,
takes in here where you're coming
yes,
out of, you're just going down the hallway. You're Danny's riding the and you're just behind him on the big wheel. And then you
yeah,
turn a corner, then you turn another corner, and it plays into the actual craft of filming. So,
mm,
and I have started to notice this in other films as well, that you get these slow moving things. I'm like, whether it's probably intuitive for them, but they
mhm.
know they're in a labyrinth and they're
Yes,
showing you and they're letting you know, like, hey, this is what it's like down this wing. And then you
yeah,
turn a corner and then you've got an intersection. Now there's a
yeah,
stairwell. And you get this sense of tension just by being exposed to the concept of a labyrinth visually
mm,
and cinematically. So it's a powerful thing, and The Shining just captures it so well,
wow,
which
yes,
is exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah.
Retro, the way they
Hmm.
filmed it.
Yeah, the way it's filmed. I just wanted to go through the comments just really quickly because there's some really good ones and some new people who just stopped in. We've got Laura Toth in the house. So great to
Awesome.
see you. Says, hail everyone. So good to see you. Jeg says, it's a Stanley Kubrick film, of course. He makes a few changes to the story, yes, to make it his own. And Keith E says, on my DVD copy, there's a 20-second dead spot right at the beginning before the movie starts. Oh, okay. I don't know if I don't think I have that for mine. Let's see what else is going on. Um, um, Oh, okay. And Jack Lemon says, I say as much because RNG and Doug responded to me by saying on the Clash of the Titans vid that Journey and Labyrinth are yin yang intertwinings in the world
Yes.
our society's telling. Oh, yes, 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 yes. The yin and yang that we were talking about. It's very interesting
Yeah, Jack
concept.
Lumen,
Thank
I
you.
think that, yeah, that's very insightful. And on Heath's channel, we were kind of discussing that exact concept, that there is it's not two separate ideas that are completely, that there's an interplay between these storytelling models. And when you spot it, it's actually kind of exciting to see them play off of each other.
Yes. And Tom Tom Baker is here. How are you,
Time
Tom?
Lord Tom Baker.
Yes. And let's see. Just gonna
Time Lord.
bounce
Someone
on.
named Time Lord Boy just came in as I said that.
Yes. Oh, really? Yes. Oh, yes, of course.
That's
Uh,
completely random. I was thinking of Tom Baker, the actor from Doctor Who. My
hmm.
favorite. So that's why I called him Time Lord, and then someone named Time Lord just came in.
Um, and Keith E says many older hotels have had so many additions that sometimes they can be very complicated.
Mm.
And that is also to say, he said, I've worked in a lot of old hotels and there's always something stranger afoot. And let's see. And we'll keep going. And if hopefully I'm not missing anything that anybody wanted me to call out. But yes, Time Lord Boy, so great to see you again. Nice of you to come and hang out with us. Let's see. And yes, okay. So we're gonna get into this. I just wanted to do the basics about the Shining. The Shining, it was released in 1980. They considered a psychological horror film, produced and directed by Stanley Kubrick, co-written by with novelist Diane Johnson. Is
Yes.
based on Stephen King's 1977 novel of the same name. Stars Jack Nicholson, Danny Lloyd, who did an outstanding job
Yes, he did.
at playing his character's name was Danny as well. And Shelley Duvall, Scatman Carruthers. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. As a very, very iconic role that he plays there. And let's see. This was all done at EMI Elstree Studios, and I believe that's in the UK. Yes, and that's pretty much it for the stats. It was had a budget of 19 million and came back with 47 million from the box office. So that's not bad. Not a bad.
47 million and immortality as a
Yes,
film.
and immortality. The sequel to that is Doctor Sleep, which I've never seen. Have you seen that movie?
I did, and it absolutely does not belong in the conversation.
Okay.
Like I had, when you say you're gonna follow up on The Shining, you gotta deliver that, and, this was just okay, and I
Oh
like Ewan
no.
McGregor, but
Yeah.
but let's just focus on The Shining.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So it neither followed up with the book or the
I
movie.
mean, it did, but, in a bizarre way, it was disappointing,
Oh
to say
no.
the least, and
Okay. Okay.
forgettable.
Okay, well, we'll keep moving on. If you have a Max subscription, you will be able to see this. Um, and let's see, what else? Where else can you see this? Um, yeah, I think so. I have happened to have a copy of this myself that is from Amazon, so I will be watching it on that. Um, So I wish I had a link for you guys, but I don't. But if like I said, if you've been watching, if you've got a Max subscription, perhaps you've been watching the new Penguin show, go ahead
Mm,
and use that subscription to watch along with us today. Let's see. So, are we ready for the watch party?
I'm ready.
Okay, let me get things set up for us. We're gonna. Uh,
Down. Okay.
oh, Keithy, thank you so much.
Oh,
Just
man.
before I was gonna look away, Keithy's like comes in like a king and says, "Hey, you need to put up the banner." Thank you so much.
Man, good catch.
Oh wow. Whew. There we go. There's the banner.
Yeah.
Um, awesome, awesome, awesome. And I've got mine peeked out. This is so good. just love this movie so much. I mean, even though it's like completely out of my realm of movies that I like, I'm not a big horror person, not really crazy about ghost stories and paranormal stuff. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. But
Does it?
this one, yeah, this one works. It just has this, and I just love the way the story's told. Is
Yeah.
probably what it is that's really doing it for me. Now, let me get our.
Oh
Oh,
no.
that was my timer. I hope I didn't break it.
Oh, retro.
Oh boy.
Does your spaceship have a backup?
Oh no. Oh,
Retro, there's
oh.
hey, retro. You have the yep, wire right there.
Wow.
You got it. That spaceship is dangerous this morning.
I know it's trying to get me. It's like okay. It's working. I almost killed the the timer. Okay, my goodness. And let's see. All right, the countdown. I'm gonna count down from 5 to 1, and then right after 1, then press the button to go. Um, and just a FYI, every once in a while, I do have flubs where we have to stop the countdown and start over again. But hopefully, that won't happen this time. Well, gonna use the power of positivity to to do it right the first time. Also, guys, I will not be able to see your comments as the movie is playing. I do have an auxiliary computer over here where I can just see some things on occasion. This one is very visual heavy, so I don't know how many times I'll be able to look over there. But also, any newcomers that come on board, just let them know that I will not be able to always see their comments if they're asking.
And I'll try to
Um,
keep an eye out for you,
Oh,
retro.
thank you so much. You guys are so great. And let's get ready to rumble. All right, so all right, ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I there we go. It's a few seconds behind, it looks like.
We're entering the labyrinth right now.
Oh, did it okay. I hope we're gonna be
Man, what
matched
an
up.
opening with that
I hope
music.
so.
That ominous music is
Yes.
you can't hear that and not immediately mentally fall into this movie. You know?
Yeah.
Even this opening is a you're following this car on this lane. It really does kind of get you into this show in a great way. You're
Yes.
in the big open outdoors in Colorado. Now, I was going to say earlier, we talked about the differences between the book, which is a classic and phenomenal and excellent, and the movie, which is a classic, phenomenal, and excellent. And I mentioned that there was some grounding aspects to the film, and that the film is heroine centric, and it changed a few things. One of the things, the reasons
Mhm.
why I think that happened is the writer on this is Diane Johnson. You have a
Okay.
female
Yeah,
writer.
you mentioned that. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yes, and it's so amazing. So when we were looking at Clash of the Titans, for example, we
Mhm.
found out that Beverly Cross wrote that story, and we noticed that there was a strong labyrinth and journey kind of added in there.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, yeah.
here again, and when E.T., Melissa Matheson was the screenwriter. So I think what you are getting is a a what we want when we say diversity or a wider
Mhm.
range of perspectives. I think her coming into The Shining changed it in a way that made this movie really possible, and helped to
Interesting.
augment it in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
Oh, and Tony Burton, I like him. Yeah, Stephen King's novel definitely centers on Jack Torrance and does not spend as much time with Wendy, whereas this movie does. And I think, yeah, there we go. Screenplay by Stanley Kubrick and Diane Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Now, did in the book, did it focus at all on Wendy at all?
I mean, it does, but she's really not like it does in the movie. The movie gives her
Interesting.
scenes. I was even thinking while I was watching yesterday, there's certain scenes that I feel like possibly, add a woman's touch. Like there's a scene where
Ooh.
they're watching TV. They're just sitting there. It's
Mhm.
Wendy and little Danny, and they're just sitting in the Overlook Hotel watching TV, kind of just passing time. There's a cartoon on, and I was like, that scene does so much to settle us into this place. And part of me thought that that may have been a little bit of Diane's influence there. Totally speculative, but it just made me wonder.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to look at these things and wonder sometimes.
Here's Stuart. And there's a lot of long takes in this film, a lot of movement through space. And while I was watching this yesterday, I was like, in the modern day, right now, we're so desensitized to images. There's AI,
Yeah.
there's CGI, and the spectacle is just less impactful. Part of me wonders if a return to these long takes would be something that would really help film uh again, like a return to this kind of filmmaking.
Mm,
Because by doing this, you're really settling into a space, you know.
yeah.
Kind of looks like my childhood. Like I was thinking I was Danny's age in 1980.
Did you have this haircut?
Not as long. I just had kind of like wild hair that was unkempt. But I did have the look. I had the collar on the outside of the shirt and all that. Oh, and remember retro we were talking last week. I think we were talking about Clash of the Titans, and we were talking about the magic language revolving around this fragile power. We were kind of thinking about
Ye
that. This has
yes,
a
ma
little bit of that.
yeah.
Danny is the fragile power of this story, and
Yes,
he
he
has a
is,
magic
yeah,
language.
yeah. So the magic language and the magic, and the fragile power kinda go together, you think?
I think so. There seems
Mhm.
to be a connection there. I have to work on that a little bit more, but I
Alright,
noticed that this has a little bit of that. That has it.
okay, I'm writing notes 'cause I wrote down, new Doug, extras, secret language, and threat reminders.
Oh, nice. I remember when you took those notes, actually. It's funny
Yeah,
too.
I love these theories.
Yeah, yeah. Jack Nicholson have an amazing presence in this. Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
he's so like quirky, but he
yeah.
he really commands the space he's in, despite the quirkiness. So he has a unique presence.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Even in this interview, he's got these weird smiles. He's like, he's a good-looking guy, right? And then he does his full on like smile, like I'm here, and it's like it just gets you.
Yeah,
It's like a zinger.
yeah. Well, and it's funny too because you catch Jack. There's a scene later on where he's walking down the hall and he's like doing this crazy, and I'm like, man, you cast Jack Nicholson, you're gonna get scenes like this. These
Yeah,
bizarre
yeah.
scenes. And this is great from a writing standpoint. This is great exposition. Great
Yes.
exposition. He's able to
Yeah.
communicate literally just factual stuff about the hotel in a way that doesn't feel like it. It feels like
Yeah.
he's acclimating Jack to a job. And so he's the writer and the filmmaker, they're able to get away with a ton of exposition here.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. And the Stewart guy is really good the way he plays his character because he's very cautious about it. He'll
Hmm.
deliver the information and be like, just throwing it out there. People have gone crazy and killed each other with, axes.
It's
You know?
happened before, but we
Yeah.
won't tell you about it.
Winter of 1970. So that's not that long ago if this was in 1980. This would be the equivalent of, back in 2014,
Oh yeah.
only 10 years ago.
This guy on the side, he doesn't look so happy or impressed.
He's kind of a weird character. He's in all these scenes, and I think he has one line of dialogue, and it's like, okay. Trying to time this up. I think I got out of sync here.
So they're talking about the threat reminder, I guess. The 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 old Jack, as you mentioned before when you were
Right.
saying that sort of this is what happens when you mess with the Overlook Hotel.
Right. But it's also one of those weird things. So he's like, yeah, there was another guy, and he kind of got a little isolated. And what's weird is, if you're listening to this pitch, if you're Jack
Yes.
Nicholson, it's hard to know how to process it because that guy thought he was normal too. So you're like, oh yeah, well, that won't happen to me. But
Yeah.
it's like, would it? Would I
Yeah.
go nuts if I
Yeah.
was isolated? Right. And then you have that other factor of just,
Warnings, you don't want to stay. Maybe you don't want to go to this place. Maybe you don't want to be here.
yeah.
Look at his face. He's so funny.
I know. He
He's like,
is
she's
just
gonna get a thrill out of it.
you're at 11:08.
Ooh, this is spooky.
Yeah.
And the music helps.
Oh yeah. The score to this is by Wendy Carlos, who also
Ooh.
did Tron.
Ah.
I somehow got off base here. So yeah, so I think this has to
Ah,
do with the magic. So the
the
magic
blood hallway.
language seems to be something that it seems
Yeah.
to revolve around the fragile power. And in this case, Danny is the
Yes.
fragile power of the
Yes.
story, and he has a magic language.
Yes.
Only he could talk to Tony and
Yes.
Scatman Crothers. His name is Dick
Yes.
Halloran in this one. In fact, the name of this show is called The Shining, which is a reference to that
Mhm.
very magic language. Um,
Mm.
which we'll get to later, which is an odd title. Don't you think that that's a strange
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
focal point for the title? That
Yes.
the strange language is what he titled the book. It's just unusual.
Yeah. Or the strange power, if you want to call it.
Yeah,
Because it is sort of like the way they use his language, if you will, is sort of like they call it a talent later.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I love that this is setting up that Tony and Danny are two separate entities,
Yes,
and they're both using one vessel to communicate.
right.
And that kind of blows your mind too, a little bit. You're like, oh, snap.
It's all the more disturbing that it's a child, right? Because
Mm,
because a child
bingo.
might be doing this on his own,
Yes.
right? Maybe and yet they give you a few clues. In fact, the clue they already gave us one clue. One was, you know, dad's about to call mom,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. Yeah.
he calls, and it's like, oh wait, that was
What?
accurate.
Yeah. Prophetic. I mean, this guy Tony knows his future.
Right, that's right. And that and,
And
and the
he
way it comes across in the show is very subtle. It's very, very subtle.
mm, mhm,
And he's
mhm.
brushing his teeth. It's almost an afterthought. As far as dialogue being delivered, it's
Yes.
something the character is like barely invested in, and then it comes true, which is great because it doesn't. It's just enough to give you the clue without distracting the viewer too much, I think. And
Yeah, yeah.
Moonbeam, you are absolutely correct. Jack
Oh, Moonbeam is
Torrance.
here?
Moonbeam is
Hi,
here.
Moonbeam. Hi,
Jack
Moonbeam.
Torrance is absolutely the masked minotaur of this story. Wendy
Yes.
Torrance is the heroine. Uh, Danny is the fragile power, and I believe Dick Halloran is the beast as ally. He fulfills
Mm,
most of that function,
mm, okay.
but it's a softer role in this because he kind of it's just an unusual portrayal of that, but he mostly fits that. He's the one that comes in and tries to help, which is usually what the beast as ally does. He adopts the heroine's cause. In this case, Wendy is in trouble, and he has some good. I think there's well, we hired some a-holes. you know,
Yeah. I love that scene because he kinda goes off on his own thing.
yeah. And so this scene here, I found very interesting because technically, this scene does two things. One, it grounds the supernatural. It's like, oh, this isn't a malevolent entity. This is psychological,
Oh gosh, I'm buffering. Mhm,
and even more interesting is that this. I think this was Diane Johnson. This is just a theory, but they
mhm.
tie the imaginary friend to Jack Torrance's alcoholism. And it's kind of spooky the way it comes up here because she's like, oh, it's one of those things. Jack came home late. He was drunk. So she says basically that my husband physically abused my child.
Yeah.
And she says it like, it's just one of those things. And you could see that the female psychiatrist or social worker is like, horrified, like that could be a
Yeah.
problem. And this scene suggests that there is a relationship between the emergence of Tony and that incident of physical abuse. So
Mhm,
that is a
yeah.
very real world grounding aspect to the screenplay that oddly does not undermine the supernatural because it ends up being supernatural, but it's odd that they included this other element here that suggests that this could also be real trauma being
Mhm,
manifested, right? Like a psychological disturbance.
mhm.
Oh, Emily Kruger is here.
Hi,
Welcome, Emily.
Emily.
Emily
Hi. So good to
won
see you.
the script to the Blues Brothers.
Yes. Oh, yes. Congratulations. I'm so glad that you were able to, hopefully you got that safely and everything. Oh my goodness. So he
So yeah,
promises never to drink again and
right. So this was part of the book, the
Mhm.
alcoholism angle. What
Yeah.
I just find interesting is how much time was devoted to this alternative theory of Tony,
Yeah.
and tying it to an actual incident of physical abuse,
Yeah.
which is not supernatural at all. That is psychological. That is
Yeah.
grounded in real terms. So, and
I
this
think
film,
I Well, I think that there was probably an effort to really make Jack a guy you didn't wanna, like. I mean, even though you end up liking him because he's played by Jack Nicholson, he's really not a nice guy.
right,
Yeah, and you see a little bit this in the car where he's sort of, like, driving, and he's like, "I wanna rip everybody's head off in this car." You just see it in his face.
totally. Well, there's a scene later when he's describing that incident of physical abuse, and he's talking to Lloyd, the
Yeah,
bartender, who's like the
yeah.
devil basically, and he's like, you know, I just a little bit, just an accident, and then I ripped him off the ground, and I'm like, he's saying it right there. He's an animal. So
Yeah.
the masked minotaur hides his animal savage side, and
Yeah.
the human side is the disguise. And though, so like you just said, there's little hints of the animal side, and as the film progresses, that is the dominant side, which is the absolute, you know, feature of the masked
Yeah.
minotaur. That the animal savage tyrant is what emerges and becomes the only thing standing by the end of the film.
Oh man, I just love that scene. He's like, "See?" And he does that weird face where the eyebrows go up like really devilishly. She
Totally.
saw it on television.
And
Oh
what's
my
crazy is
goodness.
it's hard to imagine anybody else playing this role.
No, no, yeah. The complexity of showing of showing evil, but also showing like I'm an average guy trying to make it, but I also am like likable, but I could be a bad guy.
Yeah,
At the the flip
he's got that
twist.
charisma, right? There's
Yeah,
charisma there, and you're
yeah.
drawn to Jack Torrance. He seems to be one of those guys that can command social space because he keeps you a little off balance, and he's making a
Yes.
joke, and
Yeah.
but he's also very responsive. And then you see the mask start to slowly slip off as we
Oh,
descend
yeah,
into
I
the
love the description of the mask slowly slip off.
slowly slipping off.
Oh, no, gotta okay, push it back
Yeah,
on.
I have
Don't hurt
in the book.
anybody.
I have this whole discussion about you ever hear like people say, "Oh, girls never like the nice guy," and I explain some of that in the book. I'm like, well, the nice guy is
I
to an
think I lost
experienced
you there.
heroine. What's that? What's that?
I think I lost you. Can you repeat that?
Sure. Yeah, I was just talking about the nice guy. The phrase on why girls don't like the nice guy. I've heard guys complain about this and all this, and I'm like, well, there's a reason
Oh,
for that. In the heroine's labyrinth, there's an explanation. The nice guy who plays by all the social rules, who never does anything wrong, is gives that's a trait of the masked minotaur. And so the nice guy, quote unquote,
mm.
is a character to be that a heroine should be skeptical about once she becomes more experienced. So,
Yes, yes,
especially,
indeed.
especially if the nice guy starts to
Says he's a
become
nice guy.
angry that his niceness isn't winning over the heroine. If he starts saying, "I've been good to
Oh.
you, done all these great things," the mask is slipping. The mask is slipping. You want to
Oh.
possess the heroine. The nice guy is your disguise. So,
So here oh, I'm sorry. I was
no, no.
gonna say Danny is seeing the little girls because he is slightly off kilter psychologically. So
Oh, from the possession.
the house Yeah, the house is already, or the Overlook Hotel is already speaking to him because he's already off kilter right off the bat.
And notice it's his counterpart. It's the children that are reaching out to him, the other ones that were the target.
I love when you point out these little things. They're the first, yeah, they're the first thing. Actually, the visions actually were the first, but this is like from he's actually in the space, so they're reaching out to him. Yeah.
Well, and then there's some dialogue assigned to this. He's like, some places shine more than others. Um, so there
Ooh.
is, because he speaks the secret language, he could speak the language of this hotel in a sense. So I think that
Yes.
that is part of that connection that Danny
So
has.
good. Guys, isn't that great? Oh my god. I love this.
Come play with us, Danny. Yeah. And by the way, remember retro, we were talking about when because obviously you and I love to watch movies and we love the staying power these movies can have.
Mhm.
I always look for cultural relevance. What is it that has stuck around? And this movie just has tons of things that are sticking around. And those two little girl twins
Oh,
are about
yes,
as iconic
iconic.
as it comes. If you want a
Yeah.
horror scene motif, you put two twin girls in blue dresses and you're there. Like you're there.
And everybody knows what movie you're referencing, like, that
100%.
yeah.
I mean, it's spoofed, if you watch South Park, they'll put like two, they'll do it. And
Yeah.
so right away you're there. And then this is just great storytelling. Here's
Yeah.
this object. Here's this object. These are all things that come into play. Notice the camera work here. It's going
Yes. Oh, I
backwards
am.
through a corridor.
Mhm.
You are in. Now watch this. It goes right through the doorway. It's still the same shot. So the sense
Mhm.
of movement through this space is, I think, complementary to this idea of being inside of a labyrinth.
Oh, yes, yes.
And these were sets. So obviously there
Yes,
was a real Overlook Hotel, and they filmed some of it in
yes,
the hotel. But these were sets. They rebuilt the Overlook Hotel in these vast rooms,
yes.
and especially the lobby. They rebuilt the Overlook lobby.
Mhm.
Guess which
Yeah.
film came into this space like a week later and had to tear down that set to build their set? This
It's
set was they're
1980.
like, okay, we need to use this. We're renting it out now. This was all still
Um,
up. This was all still
Empire
up, and the
Strike
new
Back?
filmmakers. Nope. Good
I'm trying to
guess.
think, 1980,
They would have been they would have
which
been
one?
filming in 80 for the film to come out in 81. You and
81,
I have
okay.
watched it together.
Oh, boy. Uh,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
oh, wow.
It's the Well of the Souls. The Well of the Souls
Really?
is the lobby of the Overlook Hotel. Yeah.
Yeah,
As the Shining people were pulling out, Raiders of
yeah.
the Lost Ark people were pulling in.
Yeah, she just mentions the maze and the
Yes.
breadcrumbs.
Okay, yeah, I thought, and that was a critical clue to me in the early goings of the Heroine's Labyrinth, her saying that. Um, this idea of having to keep track of where you're going because you could get lost in this space. And notice again the camera work. It's a backwards, it's pulling back as it's following these people as they navigate all the different areas of the hotel.
Mm.
And this Scatman
I do
Crothers
like this
was
storytelling.
fantastic. What's that?
Oh, yeah, he was. I do like the fact that their storytelling is showing you the entire hotel before you see it later on when it's cold and desolated and like no one's there now. You see people are all packing things up and cleaning off all the um the furniture.
Yes. Yeah, I actually like that feel of everyone pulling out, because you get a sense like everyone else is clearing out, but you're
Clear it
staying.
out.
Oh, Adam Fleming is here, and he says, "I just watched The Shining Tuesday late night." And William Blake Hall is here. Hi, William.
Oh, hey, William Blake Hall. Oh, missed you so much. How are you?
William Blake Hall says The Wild Robot, thumbs up.
Oh, thumbs up. I can't wait. Oh, listen to the music starting to. Uh-oh.
What's up,
Danny
Doc?
sees something.
Yeah, and this is so unusual. I just realized
Wow, is
if
that spooky?
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, thanks everybody for being here. I'm so glad to see everyone.
Mm-hmm. Where what line is
Ah,
being
that's
spoken
okay.
right now?
Okay, you behave yourself. Uh, is
I think on the
what kind of
second.
ice cream do you like? Chocolate? Um, unless, oh, maybe, oh, well, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm ahead. Where are you at?
I'm at 29:37. Okay. Okay, I'm behind now. I messed with it. Hold on one second. Let me get to 29.
'Cause I'm at the point where they're talking. Danny is talking, unless maybe I need to stop it.
All right, you're at 30. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got them talking.
30:05.
7.
Yeah, I'm actually at 29:44, but
I'm trying to recalibrate here. 30. Okay, he's with Dick and they're talking over ice cream.
yeah, yeah. It just turned to 30 for me. Um, yeah, 30, 30,
All right.
yeah, in a few seconds. Poor thing.
So, and this is from a writing standpoint, this is also exposition. Dick Halloran is actually explaining what the secret language is, and
Yes.
gives a background how he used to speak it with his grandmother when they were young, which gives this kind of a sense that there's a strange tradition behind this language. Um, that's something that you learn to live with. You grow up with this, and other people have it, and there's almost like a secret society of people who do this. And he's like, I see that you're one of these guys. Um, the reason this is important also from the story is when the Overlook Hotel begins to claim Jack, uh,
Yes.
right?
Claim is such a
And
perfect word. Yes.
yes, and then he begins to torment Danny and attack Danny. And like you said, toward the end, even Wendy Torrance becomes. So you get a sense that the longer you stay in this hotel, you will eventually
Become.
succumb to the powers here. The
Yeah.
the magic language is so important because this is how Danny is able to call for help um, to Dick Halloran to bring him
Yeah.
out to the hotel. What's so weird about it is after
I'm
this
sorry, guys.
incredible.
I'm having some technical issues. It's like buffering or what? Like a little bit of a delay. So sorry about that, guys.
Okay, but the clock in the back is the right time, right?
Oh, I think so. I'm not sure.
I'm matched
Um,
up to your clock pretty good.
okay.
ET3. Yes, I'm in sync with the clock behind you.
Okay.
What's so unusual is that they devote all this time
Mm,
to the Shining, to this magic language that Danny can speak,
yes.
that Dick
Yes.
Halloran can speak, and then they devote all this time to Danny reaching out to Dick after Dick leaves, and then
Yes.
Dick Halloran comes all the way back out to save them,
Yes, from
and then it's killed
Florida.
within like a second. Yeah,
I know.
so it's
But
just a
him
lot of
showing up,
time.
yeah, but I think him showing up saves their lives. It's just a few moments to distract Jack.
Yes, yes, it's it works. It's just unusual that you wouldn't allow maybe some more heroics out of Dick
Yeah, yeah,
Halloran.
like
And,
I
give him
know.
one good shot.
Yeah, yeah. Or like a battle or something, that would have been really cool.
Yeah. And his presence in this, Scatman Crothers is incredible. I loved him in this, and I also loved him in the Twilight Zone movie. Um, Kick the Can. That whole have you ever seen the Twilight Zone, the movie?
Yeah, it's been a while though. I have
Oh,
seen
okay.
it. It's really good, I know.
Yeah, he's in that as well. Right, William, you're right. Halloran saves them, just not as directly as we would have liked. I think perfectly said right there. What a shot of that hotel. Another scene where the camera goes backwards as the actor or actress approaches you, and it moves through the walls into other rooms. You're getting a great sense of space and place. Now the camera moves in behind her, and you begin to
Oh,
follow.
okay.
Now we're following Danny behind the big wheel.
Okay. Well, I must be a little bit behind on uh just to make sure. Well,
Thirty-four
yeah, I'm definitely.
fifty-seven.
Yeah.
Now,
Let's
this
see
isn't
if
the
I
famous
can.
scene with him on his big wheel, but it's certainly setting us up for it.
Yeah, it's a setup scene, which I
Yes.
love. But it's also showing us now that the entire hotel is empty, which I
Yeah,
also
these
like
are
as yeah.
establishing shots.
Mhm. And it's showing us
Another
the
corridor.
maze. Yeah.
Yes, retro. Yeah. Think about like Alien, how it opened.
Mhm.
Camera work
Yeah.
very similar to this with Ridley Scott moving through the labyrinth.
Mhm. Now, one thing I have to say about the labyrinth is that it is disorienting, right? And that's a part of the fascination of the labyrinth itself is that it's like completely like, okay, did I get lost? What
Yes.
part am I at? So even for the
Yeah,
audience, we're like, okay, what part of the hotel are they at right now? You know?
totally. So retro, you are so on the pulse there because I think part of the power of the labyrinth is to disorient the inhabitants. And what the
Yes.
filmmaker is doing intuitively is complementing that through film work itself,
Yes.
not just showing you this is that and this is that, moving you through it to where you're like, wait, did I turn left or right? How do I get back? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I should have got this t-shirt for this movie. Stovington Eagles.
Is that like a real?
Yeah. I have
Oh,
wanted this t-shirt for years. I'm gonna have to just get this thing.
oh, cool.
I'll be Jack Torrance for Halloween. Really freak the family out. Yeah, and poor Shelley Duvall. We lost her this past year, haven't we?
I know, yes.
And we just lost Maggie Smith from Clash of the Titans. James Earl Jones. We lost a lot of people this year.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And by the way, it's true. As a writer,
Mm,
we all dream that we have this like completely clear schedule and we're just gonna sit down. We have all day to get to. So one time I quit my job to write full time. That's all
That
I did.
happened.
I slept in. I could not. It's the worst thing in the world. If you quit your job to write, you have to be awfully disciplined.
Yeah. So
Well, I
I
mean, look what he's
love the
doing. Is he
way.
writing?
No, he's not writing. But I love the way they kind of describe, like, now this is when things are settled and as good as they're probably ever gonna get, right? If
Yeah.
for them, they're relating well with each other. She's bringing him um his breakfast in the morning. He plays and writes, and this is the best that they're gonna live on this property.
Right.
And so they're establishing some sort of happiness for these guys right now
Right. A happy
before,
medium.
yeah, before things really get a little wild. Oh,
Well,
this
and
is
what they're really
beautiful.
doing
I
is
love this transition.
yeah. So the film work again, the camera's going backwards, so it's filmed the same as inside the hotel. So
Mhm.
there is a absolute parallel between the Overlook Hotel and Wendy Torrance. So you could see how I was able to figure out what the labyrinth means to storytelling from this film.
Yeah.
There's a dead end, right?
Yeah.
And now we're behind them and following them. And you see the little triangle, that's a bell. So if you get lost, you ring the bell, someone comes and get you.
Mm.
I'd be scared to go in there if there was no
Oh, no
fire
way.
department or no one's around.
Yeah.
There's dad hard at work. And these are incredible scenes here.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the model. I love this model.
Yes. How did they get that shot? Is that really an aerial shot where they zoom down? Because that's way up there.
Hmm. Well, I don't think this is real, 'cause, the ground is not the same as the real Overlook Hotel.
So you think that
I
was the
love this
model
with
and they animated or they used the visual effect to put them
something,
in there? Is that what
yeah,
you think happened? Okay.
I think so. Look, the ground is totally different.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. In fact, I'm pretty sure you're right.
They coulda just had the model and then had, stop motion or whatever, little figurines or whatever.
Are you looking at
I always
her
thought that was
cooking?
so scoop she's cooking now.
Okay, what'd you say? You always thought that was so what?
So spooky, that transition.
Oh yeah. Here's that famous scene. You're looking at him on the big wheel, right?
No, um, I'm looking at
4124.
this report, but we'll go. Okay, we'll fast forward it a little bit.
Sorry,
Ooh,
I'm in sync.
I had
I'm totally synced to your clock.
yeah, I'm having buffering issues, so I think I'm sorry about this.
No, no, that's okay. I just wanted to try to make. I just don't want to comment on something before it's happening.
No, yeah, no, I think I've caught up.
Okay, yeah,
Ooh,
this is Danny. There's a
237.
yes, Danny's on his big wheel with that famous carpeting, and he's doing his loop, and now he has stopped in front of room 237. Now there's a
Oh,
movie
Danny,
theater.
don't do it.
We have a movie theater here in Austin, the Alamo Draft House, and
Mhm.
there's one in South Austin. All the carpets are from The Shining, and all the doors for like the staff and the employees are all room 237.
That's cool.
It's super cool. Don't go in there, Danny.
Danny, no. It's locked.
Good for him that that's locked.
And then they just flash those little girls.
Yeah.
And he's
But
like,
Danny
whatever,
knows something's up.
something is really up. And he's like, oh, hurry up. Oh, man. He's just writing away. Oh, man.
Oh.
I remember seeing this for the first time. I was like, he's just going at it, huh?
Yeah, he's really busy. He's really working
Yeah.
hard.
It just makes
He is such a D hole here. This I hate the scene because, or I mean, I love it, but she's so nice to him here. She's such like a nice wife, and she's bright and happy, and just checking on him. And he's like, "Why don't you leave me the f alone?" You know, he's just so rude to
yeah.
her here. And she's even like, "Oh, come on, hon." Like she's even like appealing, like, "Don't be grumpy." Here's the mask of slipping.
Look at
Make a
them.
couple of
Look at his
sandwiches,
face.
like let me explain something to you. He's so rude here. Only Jack Nicholson, man.
Yes.
You come in here, ugh. We're gonna make a new rule. Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy is not on the level here. Look at her. She's like stunned. She's like, yeah,
What
I get
the
it.
heck?
And then that's the worst part. Why don't you start now and just get out of here? I'm like, dang, dude, you are harsh.
Yeah. There's their relationship.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
mean,
mean, he
it's
just
gone
totally
now.
kicks her out.
Yeah,
What's
it's
that?
gone now. Their relationship is pretty much gone now.
Oh, yeah, already compromised is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much gone. 'Cause, I mean, she can't trust him anymore, like, even if she says, "Oh, I still love my husband," it's gone. It, like, psychologically, you can't come back from that. Oh my god,
Right.
I love they're setting up, the scenes that we're gonna be seeing later.
Ooh, yeah, and that's real snowstorm, by the way. That's real stuff. That's not a set. That's not movie magic.
Yeah.
That is
Oh, he's
real.
starting to
Ooh.
lose it.
I
He's
want to
starting
get
to
that sweater.
lose it.
I want to get that sweater and just stand in the window on Halloween and, and just do that to all the trick or treaters.
You gotta get the hair too, and then you gotta
Yeah,
do those eyebrows like that.
I'll get the wig, I'll get the eyebrows up, and I'll just stare out the window. Think I can pull it off, retro?
Oh man, that's gonna be hard, but yeah, that's
So like that's the Well of Souls, that room
oh, it's so great.
where Indiana Jones goes down and it's covered in snakes. That's the same set.
I love
One
it.
is just the
Yeah, I
Overlook
can see it.
Hotel, the other is the Well of Souls.
Yeah.
And what's funny is these scenes here. So for those that can't watch, um,
Hmm.
Wendy Torrance is on. She's in one of like the communications room, and they're showing us that there's a way she has the ability to communicate with the outside world through this like
Yes.
radio.
Yes.
So that's reassuring.
Yeah.
So we
That
talk
she
about
has a
threat
way out.
reminders. That's the opposite. This is don't worry, viewers. She can reach
Yeah.
outside help. She's fine. And so as viewers, we're like,
Yeah.
oh, she's doing it right now. This is the radio room. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. She's got the microphone in her hand, and she has the ability to communicate with law enforcement. And so this assures the viewers that she has a layer of protection,
Yes.
that there's a layer of safety to the situation, that not to worry. So this oddly gets the audience to lower their guard. Like, oh, she could just call these guys at any time. Good.
Yes.
So this gets a reader or a viewer in this case to relax, and that's what you want as a writer. You want them to relax because you want to take this away from them later.
Yeah. They're
No less,
also
no less.
establishing that she can't just call out. That not until
Oh, right.
spring. Yeah.
Yes, that they're truly isolated.
Yeah.
Now they're also establishing that a storm is coming in, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is a black swan. This is a
Yeah.
natural
Oh. Yeah.
event that destabilizes the story world. And in this case, it destabilizes the story world by permanently cutting them off. So this is the final nail in that coffin.
And then this music, and you're like, oh God, what's going to
Yeah,
happen
now
now?
you're becoming a little concerned. We've
Yes.
seen Jack Torrance a
And
little unstable.
we've seen some ghosts already, and there they are again. Ah,
That's that's as famous as it gets for a horror film.
yes.
Right there. Behind the shot, behind his shoulders, staring ahead at the twin ghosts, girls.
Yes.
Come and play with
And they're
us.
like, come play with us.
And I don't know how they got this performance out of this young boy,
Yeah. Oh,
who
he was
played Danny.
fantastic. Yeah.
And then they gave us a little, there's some gruesome imagery they're flashing in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, "You're next, Danny."
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. You're next. Come join us in the afterworld.
Right, yes, right? "Come play
Yes.
with us" means, go ahead, you'll be playing with us soon,
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. We want company.
Bonzo Kilborn is here, Retro.
Bonzo! Oh, so good to see you. It's really great. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're gonna hang out with us as we talk more about this movie.
Even this is iconic. The talking finger.
Yes, this is assuring us too that it's not real. That these are images that are being put into his mind.
The book does a fantastic job and builds out that idea much better
Mm,
than the movie. He's talking
okay.
to Dick Halloran, and at one point he's like, "I see these images in my head, and it
Yes.
scares me." And he's like, "Well," he's like, "think of them as like when you open a book and you see a scary picture in a book. There's
Yeah.
nothing to be scared of because it's just in the book."
It's just a
But then he
yeah.
goes on to say, "But some images they don't stay in the book, and that's scary."
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right? So
Yeah.
here's that scene I was telling you, I think, does a lot, even though it seems to be so simple and so uneventful. They're just sitting in this room watching this TV. Scenes like this are missing from a lot of modern films. These establishing shots like this, you get a sense of boredom, you get a sense of downtime, you also get a sense of like domestic life in a different place, right? Living room life, but at the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah. It just
This is a long take. That's a single take. I should time some of these takes. That's like almost a 1 minute long take.
of him
And then here,
sitting talking to the mom.
yes, yeah, it's just a long, long take. And then
Okay,
here's
that's
where
funny. I was like, I hope I'm on
Danny
the right
goes,
spot. Yeah. Okay. Good.
"Oh, I'm sorry. Are we on two different spots?"
No, we are on the same spot. I was
Okay.
just making sure.
So that's how
Sorry.
I used to
There is a
dress
lot.
right there, Danny. I'd have the collar popped out on my sweater.
Yay! And with a Mickey
I have my
Mouse.
70s hairdo.
Oh, his dad is not
Something's
asleep.
not right.
Oh, he's looking at him. Oh no.
That is creepy.
Oh
Now, in
no.
the book, go ahead.
This is the part that's really scary.
Well, the way the film portrays this scene is
Mhm.
that he's aware that he's lost it, and he's just kind of sleepwalking as if like I'm kind of your dad for now, but he knows he's already mentally detached.
Ooh.
So in the book, there's more of a bargain between him and the hotel, and the bargain is that you will kill your family. And he's like, I know, I'll get to it. There's this attitude of, I will honor the bargain. Don't worry, leave me alone. I promise. I'm not the kind of guy that welches on a deal. Um,
He
so
says
there's
that
this weird,
later.
he does.
Yes.
Oh, when he's talking to the butler.
Yeah, in the freezer, and they let him go free. They free him from the
That's
freezer.
right. In the
They do
book, it's
have
just
that
very
conversation.
prominent. Right.
Mhm. Mm. I can't wait to read it.
Honestly, Retro, I bet you would love it.
I can't wait.
You're a pretty avid reader, aren't you?
Yeah, I like reading. I don't get to do it that much, but I have my favorite books.
Yeah. I
Oh,
have
so
too
he's
much to
losing
do.
sleep, and yeah.
Dad, do you like this hotel? Yeah. Yeah, I like this hotel.
Look at his face. He's just so you don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, he's obviously mentally very far away and not really here, but he's trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moonbeam says the book The Shining scared their dad and he had to keep all the lights on.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
He's like, I wish we could stay here forever and ever. That means he's gonna kill everybody."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And then what a follow-up question by the little guy, huh?
yeah,
And I love how this is provocative. It provokes Jack.
yeah. He's a "What do you mean?"
Yeah, I always have this little theory that when people become offended and like I call it hostile offense, that's a bad
Mhm.
sign because they're hiding something, and that
Yes.
is what he is right here. He becomes it's a hostile offense. Like, what your mother tell you that?
Look at that face.
That is
Oh
not
God.
convincing at all.
Yeah.
Would you be convinced that you're
Evil,
in good
evil,
hands now?
evil, evil, evil. So good. Bravo.
Yeah, and that is pure Jack Nicholson right there, man.
Oh, he's so good at that. I don't know.
That's what you pay for when you put him in your movie.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
And ever. I wonder how many
It's so
takes they
great
did.
though.
What?
I think it's really great that how they just showed Danny as being a kid for a few minutes, even though things are going weird stuff is happening around him, and he has The
Right.
Shining, which makes him unique. He's still a little kid. He still likes the Apollo USA sweaters. He still likes,
Mickey Mouse.
engines. Yeah, engines and cars, and he wants to play. So, I love that.
Yeah.
It
That's
kinda
a
keeps
good
it in
point.
perspective.
Well, and he's kind of brave here. He's sensing that he knows kind of what this
Ooh,
place is all about.
look, it's that room again.
Mhm.
And the door
And it's open.
is open. Don't go inside.
Definitely do not go in that room. And I like how the camera angle is at
As
his
much
eye
as,
level,
yes, yes.
right?
But the thing too is, that's really fascinating about it is that as this, hotel was it's like a spirit, just one spirit or maybe a whole bunch of spirits. There are actual things that are happening in real time caused by these spirit, like, they're actually doing things physically,
Yes.
like opening the door, like, they may be doing stuff inside of people's minds, but there's actual real things that's happening.
Yes. The
Uh,
yeah, the ability to interact with the real world.
yes, and that's even spookier.
This scene I always thought was kind of one of the more scarier scenes because Jack Nicholson plays it as if he's truly horrified. And it's the way it comes like we get a sense that he's losing it, right? But
Yeah.
here he saw it as if he had already done it. And so now there's one less barrier for him. He's more desensitized to it after this terrible nightmare. His acting here is really good. He looks pretty spooked.
Yeah,
Drool comes spilling out of his mouth.
yeah, this is great acting.
Mhm.
He's disoriented,
I've had the most horrible dream that I ever had. And she's trying to soothe him. She's like, "It's okay.
yeah.
Everything's fine." Oh man, what do you do if someone says that? I dreamt that I killed you and Danny. And he goes, "But I didn't just kill you. I went all the way." That is creepy, man.
Oh, yeah, oh god.
What's weird too is this is a strange moment of vulnerability for him.
Yeah.
He says, "I'm
It
losing
the
my
it
mind." Like,
yeah. He's actually honest about what like, he's, like, kinda waking up from the spell, you know what I mean?
yes.
But
And then it goes, and then the hotel knew just what to do to get these two into a fight. And now what I like and hate about this scene here is she actually plays this wrong by completely accusing this guy. He's already unstable and she comes right at him. But who else could have done this?
yeah,
Right? So you
yeah,
also understand why she's accusing him, but at the same time, it's an awful heavy-handed accusation to make to your spouse. Um,
yes, yes.
especially if the
I
guy's
mean,
unstable.
yeah, and
But
Danny is
she's a
just out of
mom
it.
and someone's messing with her little one.
Yeah. She's like,
Look at that
it
look.
was
She's
you."
look at that look. And he does not do a good job defending himself here. Yeah, and in storytelling, and in real life, when you hurl a serious accusation at somebody, it's
Yes.
extremely provocative.
Yeah. And what's really crazy about it is that there's no evidence. He's only proven evidence that he could have done it. You know what I mean?
Right.
All the evidence is pointing in his direction because of his actions and his past and their relationship. If it looked
Yes,
like
I
he was
agree.
actually yeah, if looked like he was actually, like, doing everything right and
And this is
relating
pure
to
Jack
them.
Nicholson. Right,
Oh, yeah,
right.
great.
That's what I'm saying, like, you can obviously forgive Wendy Torrance for what she thinks,
Yeah,
but we're privy to the fact that they're being manipulated. So you're like, "Oh, man, she's going right after him right now." It's like, that's not gonna go out well. Like, that's gonna provoke him even worse. And that scene where he's coming down the
yeah,
hallway always makes me laugh because where he's like, "Yeah, yeah," and he's just getting all mad about everything. I just laugh because it's
yeah.
so Jack Nicholson. No other actor would have played it that way. He's so
So
unhinged.
true,
I love Lloyd
but
in this.
it's so understandable for him, but, yeah, Lloyd is here. I didn't get to Lloyd yet. Is he on screen for you right now?
Not yet.
Okay, because
Jack Torrance just sat down at an empty bar and put his head in
okay,
his
good,
hands.
good, because I was experiencing a little bit of buffering there.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty famous scene where he just laughs at the screen. Hi, Lloyd. He's so nuts. Good evening, Mr. Torrance. And obviously, this was Tyrell from Blade Runner.
Yes, Tyrell. Let's see if I have an actor. Joe Turkel
Yes,
is
Joe
the actor's
Turkel. That's
name.
right.
Yeah.
And then there's that weird
And he
scene where you
hasn't
see him. What?
he hasn't been drinking, so he's
Right.
asking for a glass of something. So
Bourbon.
yeah, he's gone off the deep end. He's now accepted his fate, if you will.
And I love this creepy dialogue.
Yeah,
The way he plays it is like almost like performative bar talk, right? Hi,
yeah,
Lloyd. I don't have a few bucks. How's my credit? It's just real performative banter. But he's so overacting it that it makes it creepy. It's really
yeah,
great stuff.
yeah, I love it.
And then he played Joe Turkel. Your credit's
Mm,
impeccable, Mr. Torrance. Like he
yeah.
plays it so creepy.
Yep, he's off the wagon now officially.
Yeah, he's taking that sip and he really kind of savors it. You get a sense like,
Mhm.
whoops,
Yeah.
great acting here.
It's almost this is I think where he accepts the bargain. You know what I mean? Like
Ooh,
he's accepted like, "Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna be the bad guy." Remember Mother
ooh,
Gothel? She's like,
yes.
"You want the bad guy? Now I'm the bad guy."
Oh, I love that line retro.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's the moment. The reason I've always zeroed in on that line from Tangled and what you're saying
yeah,
here is because that's when the character finally throws the mask of humanity over their shoulder, and they are going to accept that they are an animal tyrant.
yeah, yes, yes, yes. And it's
Words
every
of
time that
wisdom, Lloyd. What?
one thing I like about that is that now the story can really reach its the next level of okay, now the Minotaurs unmask and the heroine knows who knows what they're dealing with, and now there's this battle that has to kind of happen, or trying to figure out how to get out of this situation. So
Yes.
it's like it's the meaty part, that I really love.
Right, they're lost in the labyrinth at this point, and, they do give us one branch to grab a hold of, where she comes in and she's like, "Someone's here. Someone else is here." Oh, and by the way,
Yeah.
right here, I love this part here because this actually complements what you said, that
Yes.
the mask is
Hmm.
off officially with this scene, because this is where he's like, "I did hurt him once, okay?" And then the way he explains this, he's like, "It was completely unintentional." He's like, "But all my pa" he's like, "And then I ripped him up off the ground." And you're like, "Dude, you're crazy, bro."
Yeah.
The little effer. Like, you could see, he's not a loving man. He's a tyrant. He is the animal. Momentary loss of muscular
Yeah.
coordination, a few extra foot-pounds per square inch. He's like, I love his performance,
Oh
man.
man.
So now here comes Wendy, and she buys them time in a way with this, because this is more husband and wife. Like, someone else is with us in here, like they're on the same team, and he's like, "Are you freaking crazy? There's a crazy woman in the room who tried to strangle Danny." The importance of that dialogue is that she doesn't believe it's him anymore.
Yeah. He's clear.
It's
You're in the clear, Jack.
And then he rejects it in a way. "Are you out of your mind?" He saw this crazy woman in the bathtub. And then here's where we take a break in the action and we go back to Dick Halloran,
Yes.
who's at his home in Florida.
Yes.
He's got some sexy African pictures on the wall. I'll tell you that.
I didn't get to that yet.
Oh no.
All I'm seeing is his feet.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's
wow.
some, yeah, there's some very provocative pictures on the wall.
Oh, boy. Okay, so they're establishing the snowstorm and how hard it is to get to where he wants to go later. Wow.
Yes.
Freezing winds. Wow.
Right, so
Yeah, there's
that's the black
multiple
swan.
pictures.
The
Wow.
storm is the black swan. It's a destabilizing event
Mm.
usually caused by nature.
I love this.
So yeah, so instead of a hurricane like we had in Clash of the Titans, or the
Mhm.
Kraken, we have a snowstorm in this one. So it's very common for these events. It's just amazing to me that these happen in these stories so frequently. Now he's shining.
Yeah.
He's getting the signal, the secret language. What do you know if he was a musician in real life, Scatman Crothers? Because Scatman suggests he is.
Um, I'm not sure.
So he passed away in 1986. So
Oh,
6
wow.
years after the filming of this movie. Yep, he had a musical career.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't
Self-educated
know
on
that.
guitar and drums.
Mhm.
Played at speakeasies. During the 1930s, he formed a band. Wow. He performed at the Apollo Theater in Harlem, New York. Wow.
That ear-piercing music is so powerful to it's the same kind of music, from, like, 2001: A Space Odyssey that they kinda
Yeah, it's
use
like
the sound like that high pitch. Gets all
Yeah, it's
in
like
your eardrums and messes with your mind a little. You're like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
where am I?"
it's like a little ethereal and a little disturbing at the same time.
Yes.
And now this is an inner chamber and a chamber guardian, by the way. He is entering an inner chamber. There's a person there. There's a minor barrier between them. Usually it's a desk. In this case, it's a shower curtain and a tub. But and there's a social test. You get a sense that he's being tempted. You know, he's being tested by this attractive outer appearance, and he fails this test, obviously.
Absolutely fails it.
Yeah,
Great.
he plays this so like like a like one of the, like a perv, something like just like "Ah."
He's like, "Oh, there's a woman in here? Oh my goodness." Look at the
this,
smile on
ho-
his face. It
this
grows
hotel's
slowly.
getting better and better.
Yeah, you almost tried to strangle my child. He's like, "I don't care."
She's like, he's yeah, he's like, I'm here to fight. Well, maybe I won't fight you. He's like, I didn't know you were hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a social test that the chamber guardian issues. There's some sort of test, and in this case, he fails this test.
Yeah.
I always found this actress to play that. You know, she's completely stoic. She's not smiling seductively or anything. It's a strange way for her to play it, and I like it. She's just
Yeah.
staring at him, not malevolently. She's not being provocative or smirky. It's just purely stoic, and I find that to be intriguing for some reason. Even now, when she has her hands on him, there's like a completely stoic face on her.
Mhm.
And now that I'm saying that out loud, it's making me think that that's part of the test. You know, she's not doing anything. He's
Yeah.
driving this seduction himself. I hated this. Oh, oh man.
Ew.
She's like 70 years old. Totally different. It just changes. And then that's just disturbing imagery when you see a
Yeah.
little kid.
And she's like laughing.
Yeah, she's like
Ew.
cackling and taunting him. Have you seen Ready Player One?
No, no, it's on my list.
Okay, I like it actually, and they do a play on this scene.
Oh, really?
They actually recreate this scene in from The Shining. Yeah. So he has left the
He's like, "Wow."
chamber.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Emily Kruger just said, "I remember that creepy woman in the room in Ready Player One when the
Okay.
characters had to go to the Overlook Hotel." Yeah, Emily, I'm with you. That was one of my more
Oh, I
favorite
wanna
scenes.
see it now.
It's pretty cool. They play Staying Alive inside and they start doing this disco dance thing, and then they have to go visit the shot. I was like, oh, I love it.
Oh, I gotta see it then. Let me
Yeah,
write that
you
down.
would retro. You would really like it because there's a lot of references to older films, and there's a lot of love for older films in those references.
This was, Steven Spielberg, right?
Yes,
Yeah, okay, of course.
yeah. People are mixed on it, but I like it. In fact, I like it a lot. Now they should be able to reconcile here, right? They're both technically on the
Yes.
same page for the first time.
So he lies and says he didn't see anything.
Right. So he ruins this. He
Yeah.
should have said, you were right. There's a woman in there. This place is haunted. We got to get the heck out of here. That's what he should have
Yeah,
said,
that was
right?
yeah.
So you get the sense that he lied because he failed that
Yeah.
test. He doesn't want
Yeah.
to bring that up. So now
Yeah.
he is in full deception mode at this point.
Yeah. You put the
Door
mask
was
back on.
open. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Now I've heard that she gets some grief for this because she's not heroic enough in this because she cries a lot. I kind of get it. She does cry a lot, but I'm a little sympathetic toward her crying a lot. This would be pretty scary for anybody. Your husband's going off to the deep end. Your kid is being threatened. The hotel is haunted. There's no one that can help you. Like, I don't know. I just don't
Yeah.
fault her for crying that much.
Well, see, and that he just suggested Danny did it to himself. So yeah, she's like, no.
Well, and what's weird is that had he not gone to room 237, this is actually a fair proposal of what's happening because they
Yeah.
know that Danny has some psychological issues, possibly because of Tony and all of that. So it's not unfair to suggest that maybe there's something else going on with Danny,
Yeah.
but he's been to room 237. So it's not a fair proposal at this point. God, this is so creepy. And then here's where you get that possessive love reaction. We're going to take something away from you, Masked Minotaur. And he's like, take it
Yes.
away from me?
Yeah.
Nobody takes. Now, usually the possessive love is the heroine herself. In this
Yeah.
case, it is the hotel that he doesn't want. Look at that rage response.
Yeah.
I mean, that's real rage right there, man. That's the mask is off again.
Oh my God.
And she plays it perfect. She's like, no, I'm just scared. I'm like completely on Wendy Torrance's side in this.
I'm on her side
movie.
too. I would be crying like crazy. Your husband is like lost his mind, and he's also like, I mean, he's crazy.
Right. And now they've oddly set up her denial
Yeah.
by when he
This is
physically
very
abused Danny. What's
yeah.
that?
And this is very heartbreaking when you decide to spend your life with somebody forever, and then you find out that that person is just gone. Like
Yeah.
you cannot communicate with them, and that like they're on another level that and you can't help them, and you cannot communicate with them. It breaks your heart, and she should like her crying is absolutely understandable,
Yeah,
and
it's warranted.
yeah, it's absolutely her world is falling apart, and she has done
Right.
everything she could to keep it together, making this man breakfast, living in this weird hotel, making excuses for him. So her world is falling apart. She can
Yeah.
cry. It's okay to cry. It is
Retro,
okay to cry.
I second that motion.
Yeah.
In fact, my attitude is the fact that she's lost her ability to control her emotions, right? She can't just play denial. The tears are up, they're out, they're going unchecked. She's unstable from an emotional standpoint, not mental necessarily,
Yes.
but emotionally.
Yeah.
And yet she still musters the courage to fight him. So
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
teary-eyed as she is, as unsteady and as unheroic as she might appear to be, I
Yes.
disagree. She's still
Yeah.
confronting him. She still saves Danny. She still goes out into the cold. she still pulls a bat on this guy. Like, I think in that lowest
Yes.
emotional state to continue
Yeah.
to fight on, that's Shield Maiden, by the way, to continue to
Yeah.
fight on is incredibly brave. So she doesn't lose anything from me.
Oh no, I think she's incredible. I love everything that she does in here, and like to me, the crying is absolutely warranted. I mean, uh, yeah,
Yep.
when
Well,
your
and now,
when your world is falling apart, and you come to the realization, oh snap, you just that's what happens. You start crying. You start, snot bubbles start coming out of your, your nose.
you lose control
You're
of
like,
it,
oh
right?
god, what? Yeah, your bodily. You
Yeah, yeah.
can't see. It's just crazy.
Right. So what I'm
And let
saying
her
is,
have her moment.
well, from that place, that state of
Mhm.
anarchy, right? Emotional anarchy, to be able to muster a defense of her child. I don't know, that's pretty tough. Like, yes, it's great
Yeah.
to see, like, a woman who's completely like has it under control and everything. Sure, that's great, but that she didn't have it that day and she still fought back. And that's what I think is
Yes.
very heroic.
Yes.
And here's more of this performative
You can
barroom
see
banter.
that the supernatural forces have grabbing a firmer hold on Jack.
Oh
They're
yeah.
providing. There's now money in his wallet. There's an atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And then the scene that's coming up, we get a lot of dialogue
Yep.
that gives us like insight on what they want him to do. This agreement, if you will.
Right. That bargain.
I
Right. You're
love
part of
that.
our group. You're not part of this family. And in the
Yeah,
book, that's really the dynamic they go with, is that you're really one of us. You
yeah,
think you're a dad. You think you're part of this family, but you're part of us. And so he begins to identify more and more with this group in the book, and the family
yes.
becomes the outsiders. From a
Mhm,
psychological
mhm.
standpoint, it's a very effective identity shift. Um, and it
Mm,
almost, from the book's point of view, it makes it like reasonable, from
yes,
from the evil point of view, that of course this family is the interlopers. They're the ones who don't belong here. You're part of
okay.
us. You're part of this party, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why we see that photo at the end, right?
Yeah.
1921.
Right. So in the book, the reader starts to go, is Jack a part of this gang, this group that occupy? Because if he is, then what is he doing with the family, right? If he really
Yeah,
truly, if this is truly who he is, then the family are the outsiders. Um,
yeah.
and that's what
But
the
he doesn't
book
even
tries
want
to
them
do.
to leave too. He doesn't want them to leave either.
Right. And now this is the guy from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yes.
He's the general that comes, Montgomery or something. At the
Yeah.
end, the British Mounties show up. Delbert Grady. I don't think so, sir. He's got that, he's the butler. The Mad Flappers.
He's like, I think this is the same guy that did that thing.
Yeah, and Jack Nicholson is overacting here. It's weird because
Yeah. Yeah.
it should be a bad performance, but
Yeah.
because he's so unstable, it just adds to this edginess for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, right, he's like, "Weren't you the caretaker here?" Like, he's like really over the top here.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think the thing that this movie's really saying is that if you're cracked, you're a cracked egg.
Yeah.
You're gonna start seeing things. This is where you start hallucinating, and again the spirits can talk to you. Because look, so far the wife hasn't seen anything. She's the only one who hasn't seen anything.
Well, she said that Didn't she say she saw a woman? Or no, she says Danny said that, right?
Danny said so she hasn't seen anything yet,
So yeah, you
and
get a
that's
sense
because
of the
she
magic language. What?
yeah, it corresponds with how sane you are. And he's all the way crazy because he's seeing entire rooms of people.
He's got a ballroom of friends.
I know.
And this scene is so weird and creepy because this guy plays it off for a while, like, what do you mean? I don't understand. I don't think so. And then
Yeah,
he's like, you listen here, you kill them or else. Like he goes from playing dumb to like giving them orders almost.
yeah. Because I think what it is happening is that they're they're bringing him into their the psychology that he has to that
Adopt.
he's now accepting what's happening. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So it's a competing narrative in a sense. It's like reality is actually that you belong here. All these
Yeah,
people are real and that you have a high place here amongst us. And
yeah,
then there's these terrible people who pretend to be your family. And now they're trying to bring people in and they're trying to bust up our party. That's a new narrative, right? That's a new version of reality. And to your point, now he's like, yeah, yeah, that's what's going on.
yeah,
And he accepts this alternate reality, which is, of course,
yeah.
not reality, And he has some racist comments. So evil is racist. And
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. See how like this Delbert Gray, and you have to give this actor credit too, because he goes from the I don't think so, sir. The butler who's clumsy to
Yes.
now you listen here. We're gonna get into this whole murder thing, and I mean, look
Yeah.
how chilling he is here.
Yeah, they call it a talent, a great talent.
Yes. And then this bathroom is just jarring too, this red paint.
Yeah, red. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Look at it,
very willful boy.
his performance is just so great in this.
It is. Delbert Grady. And then the name just is perfect. It just matches for some reason. See, now he's turning against his wife. He's like, it's the mother.
Yeah.
Perhaps they needed
His
their
eyebrows.
coffee.
Oh, Joseph Begay is here. Hello, Joseph. Says bathroom is red and reminds me of the elevator blood
Yes.
scene. Yes. Yeah, they're
Agreed,
all
Joseph.
related.
And good to see you.
Oh, and Sergeant Giratana's Rising Renegades is also here. Hello.
Awesome.
Oh, now he's talking about the
I
twins.
corrected them.
So those little girls were little fighters. They're like they tried to burn down the Overlook.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
They were like, "Oh no, we gotta get rid of this place."
Mm. Poor Wendy, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I do not look down on her as a heroine.
Okay, so she is planning an escape route.
Right.
She is planning. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get on the radio. We're gonna get the snowcat. We're gonna do this. These are all smart things you do when you feel like you're in danger. You got to get out of there. So she's
It's
planning.
survivalism.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And this is where you start to feel the primal survivalist horror trope.
yeah.
Now he is unmasked. Now you are in there with the Minotaur. He's it's a villain. It's a monster.
Yeah.
And in keeping with the heroine's labyrinth, um, it's this now. This is the temporary home space that they're in. So
Yeah.
it's
It's
compromised,
home. Yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
home
it's
for them.
yeah. And then we got
Look what
Danny
he says,
just yelling red rum all the time.
Red rum,
And then
red
red
rum.
rum.
Look at those looks he gives. Just incredible
He's
performance out of
like,
that little
Danny isn't here anymore.
guy. Mrs. Torrance.
Oh
Look, or
man.
like, so you can almost think that like the hotel has overtaken Jack, and now Tony is overtaking Danny.
Yeah.
Danny can't wake up, Mrs. Torrance. Tom Baker says, imagine being stuck with Jack Nicholson for all eternity. Tom,
Ew.
I can't do it. I can't even, I can't imagine it.
Well, I believe you mean Jack Torrance. We don't know what
Right. Well,
Jack
either one would be,
Nicholson's like.
would be pretty freaky.
And poor thing, and see, she is like her son is lost too. Like she lost a
Mhm.
husband, and possibly her son is not even in the is talking in the third person about somebody else.
Yeah. And she knows about Tony in the opening scenes where they
I mean,
introduce
then
her.
I hope people.
You hope people what?
Well, I hope people have some sympathy and some empathy for this character by saying that she's not allowed to cry. She has to be stoic throughout this whole thing, while her
Right.
every part of her world is being torn apart by this. What's happening in this situation. Is
Right.
is just a lack of empathy.
I'm with you. I am so with you. And like I said, this movie helped me understand the heroine's labyrinth once and for all, because once I recentered the story on her, it made sense in a different way. And I realized it's not really about Jack in this
Yeah.
film. It's really
Hmm.
about her and her ability to navigate almost impossible waters.
Yes. Yes. Because the last wife didn't make it. I mean, the
Correct.
last wife did not make it.
She was corrected.
Yeah, she was corrected.
So here, the lifeline that we were introduced, like, oh, okay, thank God she can just call not helping all of a sudden. Oh, Joseph Begay says, many an article has been written that the layout of the Overlook Hotel is impossible based on attempts to recreate the camera angles. One article
Oh,
even
wow.
described the hotel as a maze-like structure. Perfect.
Yes. This is absolutely backing up everything that you were saying about it. And just something I was noticing about the hotel too. Last time I watched it, it was just like, whoa, this is
Right.
you can where are we right now? So
Yeah, it's disorienting.
mhm.
And this guy's pretty heroic. I mean, he braves the storm. I mean, he flies in from Florida. I mean,
Yeah.
he answers the call here.
Yeah.
God, I love these long establishing shots.
Yeah. He's just typing
He's
away.
really busy on this story.
I know.
God, just seeing that plane land on a snow-covered tarmac
Oh, yeah.
makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of flying or anything like that, but
Mhm.
imagine landing on snow. doesn't make me feel safe. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough weather to fly in.
So my
Um,
grandfather owned a Marathon gas station, and I grew up in
oh wow.
Chicago, and so this interior in like 1980,
Yeah.
right out of my childhood, man. Like grandpa's
Oh
station.
wow.
Yeah, the smell of gasoline, inside those places, and that bing bing, that little bell when someone would drive over that wire.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. And then the other gentleman there, that's Tony Burton. Um, I
Mhm.
remember him all the way back from he was in the Rocky movies. I think he's one of
Oh
Rocky's trainers with Burgess Meredith, who we saw in Clash of the Titans. Um,
yeah. Yes, yes.
and it was the first time I seen an actor who had my last name, so it was like I've never forgotten Tony
Oh.
Burton.
Oh, cool. I love he's like, those it seems like those people were total jerks.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of presents it in a weird way, right? He doesn't
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
They were real a-holes. I was gonna kick
yeah.
out of that.
He embellished the story a little, but he needed to get over there,
Right.
save some people's lives.
Super bro Corey is in the house here.
Stupid bro, Corey,
Yes.
miss you so much. How are you?
He said, "Here's Corey."
Oh, I've got some buffering. She's like smoking, chain smoking at this point.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, go for it. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Smoke away. I mean, God.
she's still trying to reach Danny. Mm,
Right. Yeah, she thinks Danny is salvageable or, savable here.
yes. Mm.
And that's the coyote and the roadrunner in the background. Meet, meet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Shining is
Oh, he's so cute. He's so sweet.
yeah, super bro. Corey says he loves the movie, and I couldn't agree more.
It's so good.
It's one of my favorite ones to watch during spooky season.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Just keeping an eye on him. Takes the
It's
bat.
I'm just gonna grab this little bat right over here. I'm so glad she did though.
Just in case.
Yeah.
And then, of course, here's where all bets are off.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people don't like this scene because it is um because she seems very weak in the scene to a lot of
Oh,
people.
right.
But
So that's what I'm saying.
at the
I'm trying
same
to.
mhm, this particular scene for a lot of people they think that she seems very weak. But in reality, a lot of people find themselves in this very situation and they do not
Right.
come out on the other end of like escaping. So um I think again the empathy is just the situation. Um a lot of people lose sight that sometimes this does like happen to people in real
Yeah,
life.
absolutely. The fact that she's not roundhousing Jack Torrance doesn't bother me whatsoever. I'm not
Yeah.
looking for Steven Seagal to show up, her to turn into. And by the
Yeah.
way, this is a reveal.
I
Jack's
love
hey,
this.
your husband's nuts. He's lost
Yeah.
it. He's crazy. He's writing crazy
Yeah.
shit. So
And you could
that's
forgive
gonna
him
throw
for
her off.
one sheet. Right. You can forgive him for one sheet. You're like, okay, well, he was goofing off this day. No
Yeah,
big
yeah.
deal. But then
But she,
you go and you find more and you find more and you find more and you find more. Oh man. She's like a whole stack of it.
yeah. I mean, that's all he's been doing.
I'm sorry with the
And what's funny is he changes the formatting in every page. It's like all a different
Yes.
format. There it's like a
It's a
screenplay. And
different one.
on this one, it's single spaced. On the next one, it's double spaced.
It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun with this.
So now somebody
He is
actually typed all
totally,
that up.
I know, which is I'm sure they must have taken breaks and had like some people do it. And I love how they stay with this for a while too.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Her so-called
She's
weak
like, oh
response
man, this
here. Think about it. The Minotaur is attacking her at her lowest point.
yeah.
She's emotionally
I love it.
exhausted. She's probably had insomnia. And now she has just discovered that her husband is crazy.
Yeah. I love how the camera comes right from the corner of the the pillar.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yes, yes, yes. Agreed.
How do you like it? Sorry, I'm dying because this is what I think this scene is hilarious.
And he's like ready to go now. He's all the way there now.
He's he's totally crazy.
Okay, let's talk. He's like, oh, you saw my story. He's like, did you like it? I like how he's like, what do you want to talk about? Like he
Oh,
doesn't know.
the music is so. She's like, how do I even approach this?
Right. Well, what are you going to say to this guy that's going to get through? Nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh
quite
God, and
honestly,
he's
a baseball
advancing,
bat. What?
and I love the way the camera holds on her point of view, her POV of him coming closer.
Mm-hmm. That's
Ah,
right.
so terrifying.
Danny's getting visions of the bloodbath.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And he's trying to corner her into basically saying, you're the bad guy. I think you have some definite ideas of what you
He's mocking her.
Yeah. Maybe he should be taken to a doctor. And I like how she
Same
holds her
place
ground that as soon as possible, she's underscoring her position. That's a bad. Yes. See, she's holding her ground, even though she's emotionally in an anarchic situation.
Yeah.
She is holding her ground. She's like, yes, yes, that's what I think. That's what I believe. And he makes it all about himself, like the
Yeah.
Minotaur would. and place their trust
And
in
she's
me.
been and they've been showing that she's been helping a big part of that, of
Right.
taking care
Yeah.
of the yeah. So she's been trying to help him this whole time.
100%. Now that always makes me a little uncomfortable because I'm like, oh, now you're swinging at him. Now she's kind of doing it in a way that's like trying to get him to back off, right?
Yeah, no, he's advancing. I think
Right.
she's in well within her abilities to do that because he's really using he's not right.
No. And now they're on the stairs. Remember, they started all the way back there in that room. So she has backed up
Yes.
all the way up these stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
you have sensed that this is gonna end with a physical confrontation. Like, it seems like
Yes.
this is we're on this ride now, and this is gonna end one
Yeah.
way, it's just a matter of when it's gonna start. And now he's threatening her, like, clearly.
Yeah.
"I'm not gonna hurt you."
Look at him. He's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I love
crazy.
with the tongue when he starts doing this whole thing. "Stop swinging that."
So horrible.
See, now you have the ultimatum that isn't being responded to. So, like, we are here now.
Yeah.
He's so nuts in this scene.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Give me the bat.
And then he's
Now she's
sticking out
starting
his
to
tongue.
swing
Oh,
pretty
yeah, what
hard.
a devil.
She whacks him there. And where's Stunt Brad? There's your stunt man right there. That's not an easy
Oh,
fall.
the stuntman. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this would be freaky too. You're dragging this dude, right?
Tour at
And he starts to
the
wake up.
Finley Hotel once, wild experience. Oh, this is brilliant. I love this scene. 'Cause he's like, "Where am I?" Like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Well, he's starting to wake up.
Oh,
If
yeah, and you
if
don't
you're in this
realize, like
situation,
go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like, if you're in this situation, you don't want him waking up, and now he's waking up, and now
No,
it's like, oh God.
no, yeah. So they showed us this freezer before,
Hmm.
so now, they're showing it to us now,
Right, setup
and
and
then she's
payoff. That's what good
yeah, and then
storytelling.
she's panicking. Like, "Oh, no, I can't get it open."
You can see the drool on on the side of his mouth.
Yeah, he's like, "Where? What the"
I always feel like this is harder than it looks. She has to run past him to close this door, and he's kind of coming
Oh,
to
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. And he
I'm
does
like, man, you
grab
got to
her
get
for
past this
like
guy. He
a
reaches for. I'm
second.
like, ooh, like that was a close call,
Yeah.
and he must have broke his ankle.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there we oh, ah, feel for him a little bit. He's in there. He's not gonna
Right,
get out unless somebody comes and physically moves that pin.
right,
So the Overlook Hotel ghosts or whatever can remove that pin.
right. She technically won, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
She
he
defended
did,
herself.
technically.
She
Yeah,
knocked him out, and she trapped the Minotaur in this room. You win.
yeah,
And I love this. I love the camera angle looking up at him, and then he
yeah,
changes from
perfect angle.
"Get me out of here, you crazy woman" to "Oh,
Look
Wendy,
at him, he's
oh,
face.
I'm hurt real bad."
He's really playing it out.
Well, it's a change in tactic, right? He's trying to
Yeah,
appeal to
yeah.
her sympathies for him, and
It's
she
yeah,
doesn't buy it. She holds her ground again. So again, Wendy
yeah,
Torrance wins and does so much right in all this, despite the fact she's emotionally a wreck.
yeah.
And she even tells him, I'm going to try to take Danny out of here.
Yeah.
And I'll bring back a doctor. So that is her bargain with him, that she will return. He's like,
Yeah.
This is where the mask, like he tried to play the sympathy card. Now he's like, this is pure maniacal. You've got a
Yeah.
big surprise coming to you. And that sucks. Like you said, in that one scene that you pointed out where she's like chain smoking and pacing, she came up with this plan.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
She knew that. Yeah. She was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But she has two forces that's working against her. One is the supernatural, and
Mm-hmm.
two, this Jack, being kind of under the influence of the supernatural.
Right.
Ooh, you feel how cold that is.
Oh man. Yeah. So that's the aftermath of that black swan. You are pinned
Yeah.
down in this storm.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. She's brave in this. I don't care if she's crying. She's
Yeah.
crossing snowfields. You can see her breath. So this
She's
was
like,
outside.
yeah, yeah. And she's like, what the heck? He like ripped out parts of the snow cat. They're not going
Yep.
anywhere. She's stuck there until May.
Right. I mean, you could see her just like realizing that she might not have a plan.
Yeah. So her world is upside down and broken apart.
Mm-hmm.
Her plan to escape what she's in has been broken apart. Like,
Right.
she's really in a tough spot, and we haven't even gotten to the other one. The other shoe hasn't dropped yet.
The other shoe hasn't dropped, and her husband is not showing signs of recovery. He's showing,
Even
commitment
more
to this
degradation.
line.
Yeah,
Right. He's committed to this.
yeah.
You've got a big surprise, which also
Oh,
tells
I
you that
never noticed this before, but there's some peanut butter on the side there that he's been eating, and some crackers and Oreos.
Yeah, you're right. He's been chilling.
Okay, now they're having that conversation.
Yeah. He's gonna let the Minotaur out. And also I was gonna say too, the fact that he sabotaged that snowcat or whatever it's called,
Yeah.
the snow track.
Mhm.
He premeditated this. He knew he was gonna.
Yes.
He knew that he was gonna cross the line. He knew she was gonna try to escape him. So I think from Wendy's point of view, there, oh my God, he trapped me on purpose. Like this guy
Yeah.
knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a spontaneous, crime of passion moment. This was premeditated, and I think that's even more unnerving.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the another part that's heartbreaking about it.
Hmm.
And so what would be the harm for her and Danny to leave, and he can stay at the Overlook as long as he wants?
Yeah, and I like how he kind
Yeah,
of
they're
gives him a
saying
little
that
crap.
the wife is much stronger than we thought.
Right. For the moment, Grady.
Only for the moment.
If I ever had to be trapped anywhere, that's not the worst
That ain't a
room.
bad place. Yeah, that's not I was thinking the same thing too.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm trapped. But there's Oreos for days. There's Oreos in here.
I
Vanilla
know.
wafers are
Libby
back
spiced
there.
peaches.
Some Tang.
And vanilla cookies. I love vanilla cookies.
I love vanilla wafers.
Yeah, they're so good.
Do you ever have them with like banana pudding?
Oh, I don't not with pudding. I've tried them with pudding too. They're really good, yeah, with a nice soft like something soft or even whipped cream. So good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ghosts or the apparitions actually lifted the pin and freed him. Like, what is
Right.
that?
Interacting with the real world.
Like, that's crazy. Oh, and here's uh-oh.
And this guy is so committed and so, I mean, he's
Yeah,
heroic.
yeah.
I don't know many people that would do this.
No, right?
I mean, he
'Cause
came in
and
from
then
Florida.
yeah, and he goes there without any help. He goes there without any weapons. I mean, if he had, like, a shotgun, maybe that would help him.
Yeah, but you
He
get a
he
sense
comes
that
there
yeah. I don't know how
red
she
rum.
fell asleep in that place.
Yeah. No, I could not. Unless I was just, like, passed out, like, ugh, from, like, staying up,
Like
like,
you
too long.
pure exhaustion.
Pure exhaustion. Yeah.
And you don't want to wake up to this, right? Your kid's got a
No,
knife, he's
no.
yelling red rum.
And he cuts himself. Oh, no.
Red rum.
A pure nightmare.
You know, in real life, when you think about like having a kid this age, holding a nut, like, you know, did it freak the kid out to do these scenes?
Yeah. Well, from what I heard was that he didn't know that it was a horror movie.
Oh,
He thought that it was just a drama, and he didn't actually see the movie until he was, like, 17.
really?
That was good.
Wow.
That they he and there are a couple of scenes that he's not actually there that, they said that Stanley Kubrick was very, very adamant about protecting him from
Oh, good.
some yeah.
Yeah, he ended up not going into movie making like Carrie Henn, who played Newt. Um, he didn't pursue a career in Hollywood, and he's a teacher at a community college.
Mm.
Can you imagine your teacher is Danny Torrance?
She saves his love.
Murder.
He
Here we
he saves
go.
her life. Yeah,
Yeah, he woke her up.
yeah, and she has the knife in her hand. So good.
Right.
Perfect.
She's running out of moves, right?
Very, very, very smart to go in the bathroom.
See, and this, I mean, the kid looks scared. I mean, this is heroic of her too. She sends him out because she can't make it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. She's like, "Oh, I can't get through."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wendy, I'm
Yes.
home.
Oh, boy. What
I
a
mean,
psycho.
totally.
And her trying to get out of that, she's like, "Ah!"
Yeah, not happening. God, that'd be
Yeah,
freaky.
yeah, oh, man, I'd panic
So this is home as
for sure.
battleground. The
Yeah,
Minotaur is in the inner sanctum. He is in the safest place psychologically for her in this whole hotel is the home part where
yeah,
they sleep and they eat. He's in there. So the home is
yeah,
compromised. The Minotaur has
yeah,
an axe. He means to kill you. Look at this. He's crazy.
yeah. It's insane. Look at him. And she knows she has to deal with him somehow.
Yeah, little pigs, let me come in. I mean, he's even using a limerick of the big
Mm,
bad wolf, right?
yeah.
Not by the hair of your chinny chin chin.
Look at the camera work.
Yes, isn't that
How
great how they follow
it's
it?
oh, yeah.
And then one of the most iconic lines in cinema history here.
And she's just can't contain herself. Oh my god, I'd be worse. I would be worse.
Yeah.
Bravery out the window, okay?
Yeah.
Out the window. Stoicism
Yeah.
out the window. All that stuff,
Here's
oh my god.
Johnny. Oh, she got him.
Yeah, so smart. So lucky she had that knife.
Mhm.
She was really thinking on her feet by having that knife and not leaving
Yep.
it out in the other room.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Snowplow engine.
Somebody's coming. The outside world is uh-oh. There's the help that Danny called for.
The beast as ally has arrived.
And he really does look like a beast there when he's like, he's at that door. I mean, he embodies the wolf, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
I mean,
man,
he
turn
arrived
back
just in the
now.
nick. Yeah.
Yeah, he saves their life. Oh, and
He
I was
arrived
so
just in the
upset. I was so upset when I saw Danny running in the hotel again. I was like, "Danny, no, you wanna get out of there," but it's the only place for him to be because of it's too cold out there.
right. He wouldn't survive
Yeah.
outside.
No, he wouldn't have survived, so he did the right thing, but
God, and she is just stressed
I don't know,
out.
petrified, yeah.
Now she's realizing she
And
has
she
to make another plan.
yeah, because Danny's out there.
Right.
She's gotta work. She's gotta get come on, girl, get on your feet and start moving. I love it. You see all of that in her acting, in her face. You see all her mind, what she's thinking. It's all on
Totally.
screen. I love that. I love that. Don't go in there.
Oh, no.
Halloran, turn back now. Uh-oh. This is the hallway, the blood hallway.
Mhm.
Let's see. I just feel so bad for him when he's, like, calling out for somebody. I'm like, "Oh, no."
Yeah.
He's just like a sitting duck almost.
Yes, a sitting duck. That's right.
Mhm. Perfect for for the wolf to gobble up. Oh, no.
Yeah. And yeah, for the audience, you think that like, the cavalry has arrived and
Yeah, yeah.
he just comes
But he's
roaring out of the
unprotected.
corner.
The tension's built up so crazy here.
Oh yeah.
It's so quiet.
Well, and you get a sense that all is not well, right? If you're Dick
Yeah.
Halloran, you're just like, something's not right here.
He's alright, but also,
Ugh.
oh, and then Danny gives away his position.
So now he's a murderer. Like it's official now. Like he was about to,
It's
about to,
official
about
now.
to.
Yeah. So now he's like, "Okay, I've done it. Now I could do some more."
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you crossed that line. Oh, Danny gave himself up.
"Run, Danny, run!
Yeah,
Run,
go.
Danny, run!" Okay, so now, Wendy can hear things now, right? She can now hear things, and she's starting the house is starting to talk to her, the
Oh yeah, oh yeah, this weird
supernatural.
scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's starting to, yeah, and so it's almost as if now that she's off kilter, they're starting to be able to talk to her. They're now, like, getting in her mind as well.
Right. And that's a
Yeah,
weird scene. There's like a businessman and like
so
a
yeah,
tux with like a furry person
it's
there. Like it's really weird.
so strange. Ooh, I'm a little bit behind.
Are you?
Okay, I think I've caught up.
Okay. He's turning on all the lights.
Oh gosh. Danny, run!
Better get
Run,
out of
Danny,
there.
run! Ah,
He goes into the maze. I'll be
yeah.
honest, that's scary by itself. In this
Yes.
weather,
Oh,
I mean, it's not like he's wearing a snowsuit.
yeah. It's very disorienting, it's very dizzying, it's very,
Confusing.
yeah, yeah. He's screaming like a madman.
Yeah, well, he's fully embracing who he is as as the villain. Like you
Yeah,
said, okay, now I'm the bad guy.
yeah. And Danny's just running as fast as he can.
And she's in the other maze, right?
Yeah, and she's about to get, like, another vision in a moment. And she does not have The Shining, but she can see, and that's because of our psychological issues at this point.
Right.
Oh boy, she sees him. Oh no,
I mean, and, at that point, I mean, that's as bad
she
as all
like,
this has been, that is a red line that has been crossed there.
and she sees the ghost.
Yeah. Great party, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, these scenes, him running like that. I mean, yeah, he has to remember his way back.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, more imagery. You're right, retro. I never
Yeah,
thought about it
yeah,
like that, but she didn't really see anything until the end.
yeah.
He's looking for him.
Brilliant, brilliant little boy. Look at him. He's so
Yes.
smart.
Don't fall.
Love this. Like, you smart kid.
Well, it saved his life.
Yeah, yeah. And we don't know, maybe Tony talks to him and says, "Oh, he finds you because of your footprints, uh, and this is what you need to do."
Yeah.
And she has to get out of this hotel.
Yeah, she's really
'Cause
trapped in there too.
yeah, and it seems to be like
Getting worse.
almost attacking her with, yeah, with these images. It's like with Danny and Jack, it seemed to like give them images like slowly. With her, it's like an avalanche of imagery.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, this scared me so much when I first saw it as a kid.
Really?
Because he's right there. Yeah, because he's right there. Um, and he sees the footprints end, and
Yeah.
he's like right there.
Great film work.
And I'm buffering. Look at the look on his face. He's pissed.
Mhm.
He's pissed, guys. Oh man. Poor Danny. Oh no. Oh, the look on his face is just pure gold.
Mhm.
Danny. Oh, oh God.
All right, Danny, you can make it.
Yeah. Danny, get the heck out of there. Follow your own footsteps back.
Totally. It's like the
Get out of
breadcrumbs,
there.
right?
Yeah. Get out of there.
And he just keeps going deeper and deeper.
He's like, what? And the cold starting to affect him.
Come on, Danny, you can do it, buddy.
Yeah, do it, Danny. So cute.
I think the
A
Minotaur is
smart
about
little
to
guy.
claim it. Yeah, Minotaur is about to be claimed by the labyrinth.
Oh,
She got out of the hotel.
finally, yeah.
Mhm.
And Oh no, don't fall. I was always like, when she yells Danny, I was like, oh my God, don't. But he calls her
Yeah.
mommy here. He calls her
Mhm.
mommy. So Tony wasn't there.
Oh, good point.
I
He
mean,
didn't
well,
call
he
her Mrs.
wasn't he
Torrance.
wasn't in control. Yeah. He wasn't in control.
And then actually, now that's a good point. I didn't think about Dick Halloran brought the vehicle as well
Yeah.
that they
And
were able to escape with.
would you say being under the total influence of Tony as sort of like the apple, uh,
So the
because
poisoned apple.
because he's
Hmm.
not there at all for a while.
It is an altered state that usually is part of the poisoned apple that the heroine usually is in an altered state.
Mm.
Um, it's usually delivered by the masked minotaur.
So it's I
Hmm.
wouldn't really consider it, but it's interesting. I just thought that
Yeah,
the
I'm
spell
not
has
sure
been
if
broken.
right, right. There is a broken spell.
Yeah,
That is the broken spell. Like you said, he calls her mommy, not Jack Torrance. You know, Tony's gone.
yeah.
Um, so there is a broken spell. There might not be a poisoned apple. I'm almost wondering if him sabotaging the um uh,
Mm, the
snow track
snowcat
is a
and yeah,
now it's not a perfect one, but it's a way to keep her in captivity and it's premeditated. That was part of the thing about the poisoned apple, but there might not be a
I
perfect fit
gotcha.
for one in here.
Yeah.
And he's running out of gas.
Oh, I love the sound stinger that they did. Things like doo doo. Only
Yeah.
this scene. Oh my God. So good.
Yep.
Oh, and this song, I love this song, right? This is Johnny Mathis. No, 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 no. Midnight Stars and You, Ray
I
Noble
think
and
that's it.
his yeah, yeah. Ah, so nice.
Oh man, yeah, this is what a way to end this crazy, crazy story.
Oh, yes, yes. So good. And I always think, I guess, like, all of these pictures of the souls that have been claimed by the hotel or
Oh,
something. Uh, I was
there he
looking
is.
for, like, more, like, recognized I was looking for Grady in the picture, I was looking for, like, maybe, um, Halloran in the picture, just to show, like, "Oh, yeah, we've claimed these souls." But, we just have this one, which is really interesting.
Wow. Yeah, and it's a famous picture. Every now and then I'll see it on like X or Facebook. Someone reposts it and everything. This.
Because somebody posted something today.
Oh, that's right. Some
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
site.
Mhm. 1921, 4th of July
19
ball. So, this is
He's
always like, "Oh, was he there back then and then he's here now?" Like, wha
he's
it's
always
so
been the caretaker.
he's always been yes. Oh, so wonderful. Let me see if I can get rid of
Woo!
this, remove, and put us back here. Yes, oh my God, so good. What a great movie. What a great
Awesome. The Shining, yeah, it's one of my faves for sure.
Oh, this is yeah, this was so good. Oh, I see some friends in the chat. We got Maddie's daddy. So good to see you. Hey,
Oh,
beautiful. It's been a
cool.
while. Yes, I have not seen you in so long. I hope you're doing well. And also Josh Herrera is in the
Oh,
house.
what's
So good
up,
to see
Josh?
you. Just showing some love and reminding everyone to smash the like button. Thank you so much. You're so kind to do that. And it's like once again, really great to see you. Hope I can one day get you on the channel to to talk some movie talk with you. And let's see. And Joseph Begay says, time to watch The Exorcist 1973. Oh, that is great. I
Oh
actually
man,
like
that's
that
another
movie.
one.
Yeah, that's actually really good. I mean, when I guess horror movies that I saw when I was a kid always gets a pass for me, but I'm not typically a horror movie person. But
Really?
these are just great though. There's a great storytelling, great um, cinematics, just iconic moments you never forget.
Right.
And that's great. And Josh says, I would love to retro. Oh, that would be awesome. We'll think of something and we'll do it. And and Kimberly says, no, retro, no offense, but I missed the Twilight of God's stream. I I had to cancel it because I just had too much on my plate, and I'm like, okay, well, let me calm myself down and do it another time. So I will. What I'll do is that I'll watch it, but I will definitely do like a review of it because from what I'm hearing, it's really good, and I want to definitely see it. Um, and anything else? Um, any thoughts? After seeing this with us, um, any thoughts about the movie that you wanted to share with us?
Well, just that, this one is one of the ones that has lasted. It's
Mm,
passed the test of time. It ages very, very well.
I think so.
Um, and I think there's a lot of reasons why. One, it is a compelling story. You have
Yes.
great performances out of all the actors and actresses involved. I think you also have that extra layer of excellence in filmmaking. A lot of
Yes.
the film shots, the long takes, and everything. You got great sets at work here. The music is done very, very well. So really, it's working on all those levels that you hope for if you love movies. So you could put this in 10 years from now, and you're still going to love this movie. It's aging
Yeah.
beautifully. I think it is a great example of how you can see a labyrinth in a movie for a heroine. Um,
Yes.
it's just wonderful for an example of a labyrinth that you can really see, touch, and understand in this movie. So
Yes.
I loved it. I think it's absolutely outstanding, and Jack Torrance makes a great masked Minotaur in this as well.
Oh, he's yes, he's fantastic. Jack Nicholson has like the most iconic lines he says, the most like the expressions that he gives from like the first frame of the movie where he's like you see him in it. He's just doing an incredible performance. We've seen many performances from him over the years, and when you see that, you're like, okay, that's become his like go-to kind of like pseudo acting, kind of look is sort of what you see in this movie. But I
Yeah.
think it works for the story that is being told about a man who is losing his mind and a wife that is trying to keep the pieces of her family together. Her son's
Mm.
going insane. Her husband is going insane. So how do we put them all together? Put them back together. And she keeps on trying and trying everything she can, and no, it's not going to work. And you see the utter discovery, like, I've gotta do the thing that's the worst thing. I've gotta break up this family. I
Mm.
gotta leave this. I've gotta upset what I think should really be. And so that's some really deep stuff that I think is the underbelly of, just like some of the character stuff. It's so good, and I think that if you look at it, from a surface level, you might not get it, but I think when you start to peel away some of the layers of what characters are actually having to go through and experience, ah, it's so juicy. I really
Yeah.
love it. Um,
Yeah.
it
What out of all the scenes in the movie, what scenes get you the most?
Oh my gosh. Well, of course, and I laughed through the scene because I think it's so it describes the fact he is so unhinged, and that is going to that typewriter and finding all of the
Yeah.
all say the line for me. I can't seem to remember right now.
Oh, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yes, and over and over and over and over again, and pages of it, and you see her, like, peeling back the like, "Oh god." You're
Yes.
you're just like, "This man is out of his gourd," and and then he's like, "Do you like it?"
Yeah.
So,
What do you
yeah, that
think?
yeah, what do you think? Do you like it? Is it good? Is it a Pulitzer Prize winner?
Yeah, and then she's like, "We need to talk," and he's like, "About what?" Like,
Yeah.
well, I
She's
can't
like,
think of anything.
I may need to run right now instead of talking." Is what
Yes.
the look on her
Yes.
face is like, "This is too much.
So
I can't handle, I can't fix this."
right.
I think when you're in a relationship, especially, there's we could talk about it. We can work this out. In this situation, she can't work with this. She
No.
can't work with this. This is really thing. But I see what you're saying when when she's going up the stairs and she has the bat and she starts swinging first, and I think she's swinging first because she's just scared. But
Right.
I think what would have been really kind of good is if he had done something actually like a lunge that really made it
Right.
obvious before she did the
So
swing. So
right,
I
when I
think
watched that scene, at first she's just doing this, kinda like backing
yeah,
him off, and even though she's backing up, she's just trying to keep him at a distance.
at
But then
distance.
she starts going like that, and there's something in my male brain that's like,
Mhm.
"We're fighting now." Like, it activates something when she starts swinging, it's like, "Oh, uh-oh," like, now we're the gloves are off. So you're right, it felt like she pushed that final button. However,
Yeah.
we all know that they were gonna cross this line no matter what she did.
Oh,
So,
yes.
um
I mean, he basically tells her his intention, "I'm gonna bash your brains in." And it's
yeah,
like, "Oh, wow." If you knew that, going in there, you'd probably start swinging first, ask questions later. But
yeah,
it's just one of those things that it may hit home for a lot of people who have been through like domestic violence. It really
I
rides
would
that
imagine.
thin line there, and that could really be really traumatic to see something. It could be something that triggers you, if you've been through like a situation like that. And let me see what's going on in the chat. um and Kimberly says it's a spooky movie. It is a little spooky. The music's great for if
Yes,
you were just playing the music during spooky season, you'd probably get an entertaining yeah, the music is just great. An
yeah,
entertaining time. And says, even though we're getting closer to October, yes, I mean, some people have already started celebrating Halloween.
oh, yeah,
The decorations are everywhere, and so that's a lot of fun. And Emily says, "Great scary movie to start the Halloween season." Yes, yes, yes.
totally.
Yeah, we had to do that, and we have some more scary movies, or spooky movies, I would call them. They're not too bad. And let's see. Um, and Kimberly says so much to do before Halloween. Yeah, so much. And Emily says one of the things that I do like about Halloween is that it starts to get cooler here in Arizona around late
Mm,
October. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds nice. We're getting a little. Today was a little bit cooler for me, which is really interesting. Let's see. William says it's cool making it here. Catch everyone another time. Oh, it's so good that you were, yeah,
oh,
to see you in here, and hope to see you again real soon.
Yeah, William
And
Blake Hall is a very smart individual.
oh yes, oh my goodness, yes. Just a pure pleasure when he's around. So
Agreed.
great to see you. And Sherry Lee says, "Wow, that was my first time I saw this movie." Oh, good.
What?
I hope you enjoyed it.
That was the first time you saw The Shining? Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad that you did it today,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
were able to hang out with retro nerd girl to see The Shining.
Yes, yes, yes. And Moonbeam has some factoids for us. Says The Shining was in 1980, and Scatman Crothers died in 1986.
Correct.
Oh, too soon. Yeah. Um, and um, and Moonbeam says that right now Walt Disney World is all decked out. I guess suppose
Oh,
with Halloween stuff. So that's kind of nice. If you're following Lorena Creole, yeah, she's already
huh.
taught, been around all of the Halloween stuff. So that's great. Sherry says I didn't fall asleep. And
Good job, Sherry.
yes, yes. And Sergeant Garitana's Rising Renegade says Scatman Crothers is also in the Scooby Doo movies as Meadowlark.
Really?
Medlark? Meadowlark? Oh, I didn't know that.
Meadowlark?
Um, and yeah, Meadowlark. Uh, so just want to give you guys a heads up on what's coming up next. For me on the channel, if you guys want to experience another um, watch party today, I'm having one with Lorena Creole. Let me see if I can post it in the chat. We are going to be watching The Thing,
Oh, one of my favorites.
1982. And here's the link for that.
Oh man, I love that movie.
You do. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's a movie that isn't like my go-to movie. I think it's brilliant, but yeah, it's one of those movies that's too scary for me. But
Is it the grossness, the body horror?
no, but you know what? I haven't seen it in a couple of years, so maybe seeing it tonight will change my mind and make me love it. So I always like to do that because you never know, um, what happens when you see a movie again, and
Well,
so
that's true, actually. I didn't like it when I first saw it, like, back I saw it as a kid.
mm.
Maybe like early teenager, and I was like, "I don't really get it." And then I saw it, like, 10 years later, and I was like, "Oh my god, what was I not liking?" I was like, "I love
Yeah.
this."
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
why I don't like to, like, say for sure I didn't not like it. I think it's brilliant, but maybe tonight I will even love it more. So let's see. We're gonna next week, we're gonna do Blackula 1972. Lorena Creole is gonna join me for that. Hopefully, I've got her down for that. But then the week after, on the 12th, Douglas A. Burton will be returning to hang out with us again for Coraline,
Yes.
the movie that was released in 2007. That will be my first time watching the movie. And
Oh, that's right.
yes, so there will be some hand holding virtually to get me through the button eyes. I don't know that
Oh,
part.
man.
Ah,
We'll get you there, Retro. We will get
yes.
you there.
'Cause, yeah, but, I do want to experience the movie because definitely all of the little tidbits that you've been telling me about, all the designs in that movie. I wanna experience that, knowing, that. So, Keith E says Hooper says he's going to drive to the twin girls' home and to say goodnight to Retro and Auntie Retro and Uncle Douglas. Oh, so cute.
You
Oh,
got it,
yes,
Keith. You are awesome.
yes. You have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much for holding it down for me on the channel. And that you're very modest, but I do appreciate it every time you're here. So thank you, thank you, thank
Absolutely.
you. And Kimberly says, just be brave. Yeah. And and Joseph Begay says, I may have to try to make time to see that watch party. Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. And let's see.
Definitely.
And Joseph Begay says always fun to see. First timers are so protective of the dog in the beginning of the movie. Maybe that was the thing that turned my stomach on. I was like, I don't know about this.
My youngest saw it and he cried at that part. That was the part
Oh
that
yeah.
disturbed him the most.
Mm.
But the rest of the movie, he was good. He likes
And
scary movies.
how old was your son?
9.
Let me see. When he
Now,
saw it?
yeah, he's good with scary movies.
Yeah.
He's my movie buddy, and we've watched all sorts of things
Uh-huh.
together. And I wondered if I should do it, but he's handled other movies really, really well. So we ended up watching it. And then there's that part where the thing has all those little red tentacles in the dog. And I
Mm.
was like, man, that's pretty disturbing image. And of course he started crying. I was like, oh great, now I'm a bad dad. Like, what am I thinking? So I certainly second guessed myself after that. And then
Oh, no.
but he bounced back and he didn't have any other problems with it. And
Oh,
he was
good.
just sad for the dog,
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. And let's see. Emily Kruger says, saw Coraline in theaters when I was 10 and had nightmares that the other
Ah,
mother would kidnap me for a while. Yeah, it's a little bit
really?
scary. Yeah, that really got me. And I was an adult when I saw, and I was like, oh, this is the other mother. I'm like, no, this is too disturbing. I was really
Oh man.
I
Yeah,
was
I love
disturbed by
Coraline.
the movie. Yeah, so we're gonna get through it next week. It should not next week, the following week. That's the 15th. And let's see. And the cat in Coraline is voiced by the great Keith David. Oh wow, great, great, great. Um, and movie says Scatman was the Globetrotters manager on Gilligan's Island. Really cool. Um,
Oh.
and uh, Sergeant Garitana is out of here. Says setting up something, and then feel free to join me on a panel to discuss what you know about Scooby Doo if you like later. Oh, that's so sweet. I will be live streaming with Lorena later on. Let's see. And what if you wanted to visit Walt Disney World, RNG? Um, I I would like to, but I can't. The time, I just don't have the time for it, but I would love to. Of course, I would love to. And I'm not sure if I did visit. Is it World? Is World? Which one is in Florida and which one is in
Disney
California?
World is in Florida, Disneyland is in California.
Okay, I did go to Disneyland.
Hmm.
So, Sherry Lee says, thanks, RNG and DAB for another great watch party.
Yeah. Yes. I love The
Oh,
Shining. I'm
man.
glad we got this one.
Yes, yes, and Tamara Baker says the thing, yes. And Emily says that she likes the thing, but the parts with the dog as a dog person disturbs me a lot, yeah.
I get it.
Um, and let's see. I'm just gonna jump down really close. Um, and Tom Baker says, "So great, it was real snow."
Yeah.
In the thing, yeah. So more snow in my next movie. And
That's right.
Joseph Begay says, as far as I can recall, the only movie that disturbed me was Videodrome. Oh my God, I love that movie. That's wild.
Really? I've never seen Videodrome.
Wow. Okay, you got to see it. Very. I don't think there's a Heron's Labyrinth in that one.
Really?
There might be. I don't know.
Videodrome.
Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well,
I know sometimes it
it's reality disturbing. So I like it. There's something about reality that kind of just is. is shifted in Videodrome. So it's
Hmm.
worth a look for if you want something kind of a little wacky, but also it has a lot of body horror, but not the worst body horror that you've ever seen. That's for sure.
All right, I might have
Um,
to check it out.
yeah, yeah, and we've got but make sure you do so without the kitties around. It's a little
Okay.
spicy. It's a little
Okay.
spicy.
Good
I
to
also wanted
know.
to let yeah, yeah. After that, after I'm sorry, not the 15th. So the 12th is when I'll be doing Caroline with Douglas, and on the 19th I'll be doing Christine, 1983,
Mm.
which is one of my I love that movie so much, and one of my favorite horror movies. Uh, and I wouldn't really call it a horror movie, but there's just some. I guess you could call it a horror movie, but it's not really scary to me. It's a lot of fun for me. And then after that, to complete the Halloween frenzy of it all, we're going to be watching The Creature from the Black Lagoon on the
Oh.
26th, and Douglas is going to be there. I want to see if I can get Lorena Creole in on this too, since she's
Mm.
from Florida and that was where they filmed this. And so we'll see if that's possible. And many more really fun watch parties to come. Keep an eye out on the channel. There will be a lot of videos, and movie talk is the new thing that we'll be doing a lot of on the channel. So keep an eye out from that. More videos with my mom, and I think that will do. Did you have anything that you wanted to mention coming up for you?
Nothing huge. I do. The plan is in October
Okay.
to launch my own YouTube channel. Retro Nerd Girl has been awesome in
Yay.
helping me kind of navigate the ropes there. So the plan is to start this in October. I'm really
Mhm.
looking forward to it. And and obviously I still plan on teaming up with Retro as often as possible. I have always enjoyed my time here, and the community that she's built. All of y'all are awesome
Oh.
on Retro Nerd Girls. um,
Yay.
so that I'm looking forward to. I've been hard at work writing, and I think that's all the major stuff I've got
Okay.
for now. So I think that's the only thing that's coming up for me in October.
Okay, yes. And so we are gonna look out for that. Now, the channel that you're using to communicate with us now, is that gonna be your channel, or is there
Yes.
like a different? Okay, so any early adopters, going ahead and make sure to
Oh, true.
get ready. Yeah, because that would be awesome if you already had some people in place. So any early adopters, going ahead and go over there and subscribe now. But in
Oh,
October, when he launches fully, we're gonna definitely you're probably gonna have a little party over here for
let's
you.
do it. Let's have a
And
little
yeah,
launch
yeah,
party. That'd be fun.
yeah, we'll have a little party for you, and to wish you a fantastic YouTube career, if you will, and channel. And so this is really great. I'm so happy that you're going to be doing that, because now we'll be getting even more Douglas in our life, right? So you will see him over here, we'll see him over there,
That
we'll
could
see
be
him over at
horrifying.
Lorena's. He'll be in every channel on YouTube.
Well, I'm really and Retro's been just fantastic. I can't understate it. Retro's been
That's
just
okay.
awesome at helping me with the Heroines Labyrinth. I have plans in my mind to like work with her on this a little bit more. What's interesting is that it's a story. It's a whole new look at story, and the more I work on it, the more I even believe in it myself. It's crazy, but um, the one thing that's been missing on a story about heroic women in fiction, I think, is another woman. Um,
Mm,
Her perspective, having Retro there to help out on that, I think would be fantastic. So I am looking forward to that. And who better, right, than
aw,
Retro Nerd Girl? She has such a storehouse of knowledge, such a wide scope of things that she knows. She knows these movies intimately. She really understands them, and she sees things that maybe we don't. So, I look forward to that.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I will do my very best to help as much as possible. And yes, so I think we're gonna head out now, and I'm gonna get ready for my live stream later on. I did put Douglas's YouTube channel in the chat as well. I will let me see.
Yeah, it's no frills right now, but and there's nothing on there
Yeah,
that's meant to be like YouTube material yet.
yes.
But if you subscribe now, then obviously you'll be first in line for all the stuff that I'm going to be trying to do to get going.
Yes, and also in case anyone sees this after Doug has launched his website or sorry, his YouTube channel, that link will help you as well. So that way you'll get right in there. You'll already have really awesome
Yeah.
content for you to dive right into and watch everything because it's going to be, pretty awesome. Let's see. Anything else? Did you want did you want I could put your X you're on X as well, right? So people
Yes,
can
I've just started to
follow
dip
you
my
on.
toe in there, and I'm starting to enjoy being on X. I had ignored it for like years,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of people on X, and Retro's posting. You can I can repost her streams. Look, Lorena Creola's on there. So oddly
Yeah.
enough, X, which I had ignored for so long, all my favorite people are on it and are active there. So it's a good spot to be.
Yes, yes. I mean, I'm having fun on there, and there's so many. I've been trying to repost a lot of the movie like factoids and nerdy stuff from yesteryear, all the retro stuff. It's just so good, and it's just a plethora of knowledge that people are actually converging and talking to each other about. And it's really interesting because for a long time it's like, oh, you go to X for drama. Actually, there's a community of people on X that are really interested in storytelling. They're interested in movies, really great movies, celebrating those movies, celebrating
Yeah.
retro things like, old Commodore PlayStations and stuff like that. It just blows my mind how much fun I've been having on there. So, yes, yes. And oh, Tom Baker says, I found some incredible short movie creators on X.
Oh,
Yes, you can find independent film makers as well. So yeah. And Emily said she just subscribed to the channel. This is awesome.
awesome.
And Tom Baker says the two of you are great. Thank you so much. You're
Thank
so
you,
kind.
Tom.
Yes, and Moonbeam is giving me some flowers. She does her research. Thank you. I love it. Thank you so much. And oh yeah, and Joseph Begay says, looking forward
Ah,
to the big launch. Yes, this is going to be really exciting. So we'll stay tuned for all of that. And in the meantime, I think we're gonna head out.
we're gonna
And
exit the labyrinth.
yes, we're the
Gonna
the
leave the hedge
labyrinth.
maze.
And I will. Let's see. I've got my outro video ready, and so without further ado, we bid you adieu, and see you the next one of these. Take care, guys.
Bye,
Right,
everybody.
Ron.
Retro Nerd Girl, you are clear for takeoff.
In the neon light she stands, retro girl with nerd comments. Memory lane she takes your hand to the past where good times land. Pixels glow and screens do hum. Hear the beat of retro drum. Geeks unite, oh here we come. Nerdy world where we're from. Retro logo leads the way. In the night to yesterday. All the nerds come out to play. She's the light, won't go away. Film and movies on rewind. Good old days in nerdy mind. intertwined. Joystick games and cosmic fights, wondrous days and sleepless nights. With her everything feels right, retro glow in neon lights. Guiding us all intertwined. Joystick games and cosmic fights, wondrous days and sleepless nights. With her everything feels right, retro glow